Heidi ho.
Heidi ho to you as well. Need to change something. 1 second. I need to do some volume adjustments. Petrivard, welcome back to the stream team. Appreciate it. It's been a fantastic day. Welcome back for 13 months. That's a pretty long dang time. So I'm grateful for the support. I hope you're doing very, very good, and I'm glad to have you here. Oh, I'm hydrated. Don't you worry. It's actually like a hot, or not a hot day. It's like a nice day outside, which is really nice. Because I found that it has been like just an absolute giga scorcher out there every single day. We've had the killer heat wave, and the heat is breaking for like 3 days, and then it's going back to heat. But this is nice. This is only like 85 degrees for you Americans. Yeah. So it's not that hot outside. Yeah, it's nice. I can handle the heat pretty well. But over the past couple of days, it's been like 40 degrees in the room that I'm currently sitting in, which is like 110, something like that. And like, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. It's a lot of temperature. It's very hot. It's very hot. And so I've been enjoying the slight reprieve from the heat. A very, very minor reprieve. Even if it's only like a couple of days, I will take it. Okay, so I'm gonna do a couple things. Oh, I'm an idiot. Hold on. I'm dumb. I'm sorting some stuff. We're gonna be doing some cleanup of. Oh, whoops. I don't want this. I want this. Okay, look at this. Okay. So I'm looking for all the information that people want about new patch. Okay, here we go. Make sure I grab everything that I need here. Then we need one more thing. I don't know why it's not on this list. There we go. Okay, we have everything. Whoop. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I'm your host, Stream Tom. Today, we're going to be talking about a little bit of the cleanup of what happened on Lamania, going over some of the things, some of the new stuff that we got coming, and then playing some games, just chilling, just hanging out, and having a good time. I want to talk about some of the new stuff, because there's going to be obviously the posts that happen. So we looked at a lot of the things on Lamania on Monday and Wednesday. So we looked at like new features that are coming, the Reaper quest system, or the Reaper landscape system, the bunch of the new items. We looked over some new quests, and there's a lot of cool stuff. But then as Lamania goes on, the developers do like read the comments and then reply to stuff and make adjustments. So we're going to take a look and kind of see what else they've adjusted there. Also, there was a patch, so we're going to go over that as well. When does Duergar Quest Pack come out? It's not a Quest Pack, it's an expansion, so it will be only available for real money dollars July 22nd. So that is going to be July 22nd. You'll be able to have access to that for, I believe it's 40 USD for the base version. And then it will be available for DDO points in like January, February of next year, which is pretty stock standard in how they do that. The first thing I want to start with is the patch. There's a patch today, which is right here, update 81 release notes. So we got news notes, fixed a crashing issue with some quest givers. I didn't know any quest givers were crashing people, but apparently that was the thing. So they fixed that. Improvements have been made to the behavior of banks and bags. So now when you drag an item into the crafting storage, it'll actually give you a UI to show you how far you've deposited, which is interesting. Cosmetic weapons now correctly work with glamored weapon auras. Apparently there was a problem here. I don't know what that was. When attempting to enter the game with a character that you do not have access to, the game will now tell you what you do not have access to, and it's telling you that you're missing the tiefling race. Ah, perfect. So like this will happen sometimes. Let's say you're VIP and then you lose your VIP, and then you can't play one of your characters, the game might be like, oh, you can't play because you don't own X, Y, or Z. It'll actually tell you the reason why you can't play it, which is good. Fixed some recipe text for new raid filigrees, sure. Scimitars are now considered light weapons again. Dwergar should sit on their mounts correctly. Extra UMD check in the teleport spell flow should be fixed. Was there 2 UMD checks? That would be annoying. Imagine you make one, but you fail the other if there's 2 of them. Fixed client crashes that were caused by players came in contact with the Dwergar starting area, the Demon Web, and Castle Ravenloft. Interesting. And the Legendary Band of Argoness and I now drops. Although this item was changed from, I believe it was Legendary DCs to Sacred. So it is not nearly as good as it was before, especially since you can craft Sacred DCs. If you couldn't craft Sacred, this wouldn't be as good, but you can craft Sacred. So this loses a lot of value. We also have the bonus days, so it's double Remnants and Champion Hunter Week. So those of you who are wondering how do you get those infinite Death Ward Potion, infinite Freedom of Movement Potion, stuff like that, you can now get them. So that'll be available from the Champion Hunter. He also has the special cosmetics from the Champion Hunter as well. So double Mysterious Remnants and Champion Hunter Week, so keep that in mind. So it's going to be this week. And then we got sales. The sales for this week is 20% off enhancement trees, cosmetic cloaks, cosmetic outfits, hair dyes, and the weekly coupon is the other late night bell for a free bell of opening. I don't know what this is a reference to. What's the late night bell? The other late night bell? Is that Taco Bell? I don't know. Also, what's up, Poutine? How you doing? How are you? And now we're gonna do some Lamania cleanup. So we're gonna be finding out what's going on here with the Lamania. So let's check a couple things. But yes, one of the first things that people notice is that if you go into the new landscape area, you can enter it on like higher difficulties, not just normal, but you can go on hard, elite, or reaper mode, which would then give you increased quantity of slayers. However, if you had a potion, it would override it. So what that means is, let's say if you go into like a slayer zone, if you do it on reaper mode, it gives you 75% more slayers. So this is good because it means you get through it faster. The problem is if you used a potion, then that means that it wouldn't be working. So instead you would just get the 200% from a potion, and then there's no reason to even play it on Reaper mode at all. However, this says, I've turned an issue whether there's an issue of scaling, the potion, or simply a display bug. The results were inconsistent enough that I believe the technicians are looking for the update reaches live servers, which is basically if you have a Slayer potion active and then you go in on Reaper mode, it doesn't give you any extra points. So apparently this has been fixed. So I don't know what this has been fixed to, but apparently it's been fixed. As Canicus asked, can you explain what the intended outcome for the Slayer pot on the higher difficulty wilderness? Do they stack? If so, is it additive or multiplicative? If it's additive, that's probably the case, is that it's going to be additive, at which point it's probably still faster to do it on normal. But if it's, especially considering the health jump in that zone, because the monsters on normal, I think, have like 4,000 health, and the monsters on Reaper have 50,000. So it's a pretty big jump. But if it's multiplicative, that's a lot of XP. It's a lot of XP. So we'll see how it goes. But knowing SSG, it's going to be additive. Although, to be fair, there are some things that are multiplicative. So, for example, named loot drop bonuses are multiplicative. So if you have a 15% increased drop rate potion, so let's say you're like me and you bought the Saltmarsh VIP many years ago, you bought the VIP Saltmarsh, which makes it so every single character gets one 3-hour potion that gives you a 15% increased chance of finding named items. What you think is that, 15% increased chance of finding named items, cool. So if I have a 10%, it goes up to 25%. But in reality, it goes from 10% to 11.5. That was the case from data, but had never been confirmation. Well, this is not confirmed. This is what I'm assuming is the case, because I've had this experience. Other people have had this experience, that it's not an additive, it's a multiplicative thing. So the question here from Canicus is, are Slayer pots going to be working additively or multiplicative? Well, knowing SSG, additive is the worst option. It would give us less Slayers. But if it's multiplicative, if the Slayers end up being multiplicative, so you can go into Reaper with a potion and you go from 3 times to like 4.25 or however much it is. No, it's even more than that. It's 4.75, I think. 4.5 or even 5? Is it 5? Something like that. I don't know. I don't know the math. I don't know what 75% of 3 is. Yes, I do. It's 225. So that'd be 525. I mean, shit, dude. That'd be crazy. But I don't think it's going to happen. Moving on. I think it's because of the new epic feats, the category epic becomes unwieldy. That's mostly there's a lot of feats there. It's 100% sold in the potential solution, so I'd like feedback on this. My feedback was that I don't really care what they do with the feats panel, but I would like a panel that shows you all the feats you've taken at what levels. That's what I wanted. Specifically what I wanted. Maybe the solution to legendary GRs being 118 million XP. Yeah. Search engine will go a long way. Either that or a drop-down sort like what's on the character thing, sort alphabetically, or both. That section UI needs a lot of help. Yeah, we need a way to better sort the feats for sure. A search would be nice. Good job on the Wicked Pull having 8 effects. This is how you bring two-handed weapons back into use. As a general note, this item has 7 effects. His original item it was based on could very well do both items for users, weapon users in Sonic, and we want to preserve that version. I would not expect this to be the norm going forward. If 200 weapons need further balance, it will be achieved in other ways than doubling the standard number of effects. No! That is how you solve the problem of two-handed weapons being bad. You just double their effects. That's literally what Elder Scrolls Online did, and it's perfectly balanced. They just double the effects. God damn it. Anyway. I don't think there's any comments here. This is actually just the whole thread, apparently, so that's amazing. Slice of Bard's got a bone after another year. Dragon's Hand pretending that Sonic isn't a type in the game, even worse than Poison, gets priority over Sonic. Wait, huh? Can you speak to the proliferation of Great Clubs lately? Is there a plan for Universal Tree that specs in Great Clubs or something? Some more raids got them added after the raid loops were already established. Personally, I'd love to see the Alchemist archetype that gets Great Clubs kind of a simple weapon. Good question. I mean, when Pen and Paper D&D drops green dragons out of their core 5 chromatic dragons in favor of some other color that brings Sonic energy, I feel like we'll start to do some more Sonic items in packs themed around said dragons. There were some plans for Great Clubs a few years back that haven't planned out. Still might someday. No! As for the Wicked Pull, we just thought the Mad Loot was a pretty unique DDO item. Haven't gotten much love, and it supports Sonic damage to boot. This one is unfortunate. Some of you guys might remember that at Halloween, they had Night Rebels. There's the new Great Clubs you could get. And I was like, guys, get the Great Clubs. I'm still waiting. Someday. It says right here, someday. Great Clubs confirmed. We're going to be getting Great Clubs, okay? Or like ways to use Great Clubs. They'll be scalable. Also, yeah, they don't have like a Sonic Dragon that's like a base dragon. People have wanted that. People wanted to add like a Sonic Dragon or other types of Draconic Incarnation to get other elemental types, which is kind of cool. There technically are Force Dragons, but Force Dragons are from the Epic book, and if I recall correctly, they're like CR 70 or something like that. You know what? I can actually look this up. Make me get out my book. What level are Force Dragons? Epic monsters. Dragons. Dragons. Okay, so there's Prismatic Dragons and Force Dragons. The smallest Force Dragon is... what? Where's the CR on this page? Oh, CR. So a Wormling is CR 13. But like an old dragon, it's only CR 37. They could add Force Dragons at some point. Although it has armor class 74. That's dangerous. It's a big dragon. Oh my god. It casts 36 level spells. Anyways. And then Prismatic Dragons, I think, are even more dangerous. Yeah, an adult Prismatic Dragon, or an old Prismatic Dragon is CR 48. Yeah. Okay, maybe we're not ready yet for the Prismatic Dragons, but that would be kind of cool if we got a Prismatic Dragon. It's because they get to add their Charisma to their armor class. And they get 100, which is a lot. Well, I didn't count I didn't go for like the Great Worms, okay, that are like, you know, CR 80. I cast Counterspell at level 37. Anyway, so unfortunately we have none of this. Next up, beat characterization quick. I've read a poll to the thread. Please feel free to vote on this change. Do you prefer the new? Yes and no. Excellent. Okay, it looks like the polling opinion is just about as split as I was. Okay, apparently it's not as split anymore. I pulled out all the epic Destiny feats back to where they were in the launch of video. I want to appreciate everyone who checked things out. Voice your opinions. In the meantime, we put together 2 upgrades to our feat viewing experience. The first is with our advancement system. It includes new checkbox, plays all feats in purely alphabetical order without using any categories. Oh, so it just goes alphabetically through every feat. I don't hate that. And the second is on the character sheet, which will now display the level a feat was taken, just as feats do within the feat respec token UI. Oh. It just shows you what level you got each feat. Interesting. I do wish there was a separate pop-out that worked like the feat respec UI that was in here that would show you what level, like when you took them, as opposed to this where it's like what level you got them. But honestly, it's not bad. We're close. We're close to getting what I want. These changes will not debut with U81. It's too close to release window, but we'll release an upcoming patch. All right, there you go. So now you'll be able to see this. Ooh, look at that. And I'd like to see an acknowledgement that the Unbound minimum level 35 and 36 shards will be 404 and 10. Also, I think that they'll be busy with the feed thread. You're correct. The Unbound minimum level shard creation recipes for their essence crafting to adjust their expected linear progression. Okay, makes sense. And lastly, log to Lam and try the crafting. You'd see those ingredients still get used. Mystical urns. A bad tooltip. Looks like a bunch of stuff is calling itself ferrocrystal. And it's also, yeah, chunks of ferrocrystal essence. That's funny. Strength of Arms is such a cool feat. It is a very, very cool feat. I mentioned before, I think Strength of Arms is going to be good. If you guys haven't seen Strength of Arms yet, we'll take a look right here. How did I clicked on this. Thank you. What are we looking for? Okay, whatever. I can just click this one. This one's fun. But yeah, Strength of Arms and Legendary Strength of Arms, where it's that when you attack, you get twice your melee power as temp HP. Again, I think that in the high-level content, it's not going to be too useful if you're running R10s a lot, things like that. There's better feats than this. But if you're somebody who is just like, you're just like slamming Legendary Elite or doing like Low Reaper, this shit's going to be amazing. Yeah, but the heroics are not where you get the majority of your melee power. Like, I do agree with what you're saying, and there is a disparity, obviously. So, for example, Sacred Fist is actually the worst example of this, because Paladin gets so much. But I think Paladin gets, like, you get 15 from the spell, and then 75 from the capstone, plus 10, I think, and plus, like, an extra 10. So it's almost like 100 melee power. So Paladin's a bit of an outlier. But outside of Paladin, like, even Dragonlord gets, like, what? How many melee powers do we got? We get 5 melee power, 10 melee power, and 10 melee power. So it's 25. Although everybody's multi-classing, so no one's taking these. So you get 5 melee power. And I think that's it. Out of the tree. Yeah, you get 5. If you're doing like the 5 Dragonlords, a lot of people are doing. Even if you're doing like more Dragonlord, you're probably not doing 18. So you're maybe getting like 10 melee power. Yeah, the majority of your melee power is not coming from your enhancement tree. Because like leveling up and then putting points in the different epic destinies. So like, you know, grabbing the cores for melee power, cores for melee power, cores for melee power, like 20, 20, 20, that's 60 right there. And then leveling, you get 6 per level. So at level 36, that's going to be an extra, what, 102? No, 106? 102? 100? 30 plus 36 is 96. So yeah, it's 96 melee power there. So yeah. Yep. It's a big number. It is a big number. But yeah, I agree. I think that it would be nice if there's more evenness between the different trees, but the majority of melee power is not in your heroics tree, so it doesn't really matter as much. It is kind of funny though that when you think about it, it's kind of like it's a similar fashion to casters, I think, but the difference is not as pronounced. The majority of melee power is in epics, and the majority of spellcasting is in epics, but I do think that the spellcasting has gotten a lot easier for the majority of casters, especially now with some of the new items that are going to be coming. I think if you're level 36, being able to pick up a single item that gives you plus 24 to your DCs, because you get plus 16 and then plus 8 insightful, will be really good. That'll be nice. Plus 24 in one item, that's a complete insanity. It's more melee power than half the melee trees. Well, yeah, but then you have to be in the Enlightened Spirit. Yeah, it's not even all throughout the game. I don't know if it needs to be like perfectly even, as long as the characters can feel powerful and feel good. Even Monk, you know, you get to pick up all the melee power from the cores, so like you get Henshin Mystic with all the melee power. Henshin Mystic. I do enjoy playing Henshin Mystic, although I haven't in a while. But yeah, I don't think it's as big of a deal. I do think it matters that you get melee power in a lot of different places, but I just don't think I don't think they need to be as even as in heroics. Although they're like making it so every melee tree gets melee power and it is accessible to them is good, but yeah. And well, that's just it. Like the bigger balance is this. As it turns out, multiplying your melee power is kind of crazy. So multiplying all of your melee power with critical multiplier is kind of the goal. However, I am very excited about the future prospect of instead playing heavy pick, as I'm sure many of you are. I don't know if that paralyzing heavy pick is going to make it into the game. I didn't say nothing about it. I noticed it was very powerful. And so the downside is you have to pick up a heavy pick, but then the upside is you get a DC 117 paralyzer. Oh man. And I know it doesn't work on spike chain attack, but like I kind of like the idea of being a dragon disciple rolling with heavy pick. Seems good to me. It kind of does. Also, for some reason, my talking ability sucks today. Nice. There you go. What do we got? Wish Upon a Card, Thrill of the Hunt R4, and Lamortia Saga R1. Those are the only groups that are open that I can join. I don't want to make my own party. I like all the fighters in this group, though. Is that triple dwarven fighters? Are those different guys, or is that the same guy? It's 3 dwarven fighters and a Warforged paladin. You know what? I'm in. I'll join that group. Oh, one's a barbarian. I can't read. You don't get quite a large enough area to make it work, but it'll be fun off meta build. Well, the thing about it is that you don't get the DPS, but you can do pretty much anything other than boss DPS. Which, like, okay, obviously boss DPS is kind of important. So it's important to be able to kill bosses, but still, like, being able to join any group you want and just paralyze everything is kind of sick. Yeah. Yeah. I've mentioned this before. I think there just needs to be like an incentive for you to not want to kill everything in one hit. Until we get that, there's going to be no reason to do anything other than damage. So I'm hopeful that a Reaper rework will make you have to think about how you play the game. That's all I want out of Reaper. I want Reaper mode, if they do a rework at some point, to make it so you have to think about the game while you're playing it. That's it. I have not played the Duergar Barb Floor. I'm still working on Dragon Knight, Dragon Lord, Purple Dragon, Dragon Purple. What's up, Safa? How you doing? So yeah. That's pretty much it. That's my only problem with it in general. It's just that, like, if you have Reaper mode, for the most part, only makes you think about offense right now because we have too much of it. There's really no reason to do anything other than offense as of right now, which is one of the reasons why you see people only building into offense. I agree. R1 Elite should be the same XP. R10 explode for some low amount of map-wide damage. I don't like that idea. But again, I do like having reasons for you to want to play a certain way. What I mean by that is in I'm trying to think of the right way to put this. And this is the difficult thing. It's going to be difficult to get people to play in a meaningful way. But a great example would be like the quest. Oh god, I can't remember the name of it, but it's the extreme difficulty quest where you have to like kill monsters in a specific order. I think that would get fatiguing if that was all of Reaper mode. So I don't think that making Reaper mode to just be like, oh, you have to kill this monster and then this monster and then this monster. I think that would be kind of boring. As somebody who enjoys playing Path of Exile, one of the things you can do with that, or one of the mechanics that has had that, is back in the day during Bloodlines League, I'm going way back for those that remember Path of Exile, one of the Bloodlines was called Phylacteral Link, which makes it so it's a pack of monsters, but only one monster in the pack can take damage at any given moment, so you have to kill them all one at a time. Chosen mutators? I wouldn't say that, but I would say that for a game that can kind of infinitely scale damage, and crowd control is like not really bound by any sane metric. Oh, did we not do the puzzle? Oh. Crowd control is not really bound by any sane metric whatsoever. And so, unlike in other video games... Oh, whoops. Right, I didn't reset the runes properly. Like, for example, World of Warcraft, right? World of Warcraft has very limited crowd control. Lord of the Rings Online has very limited crowd control. And so, that's the reason why you have all these games with... they can kind of balance the combat very specifically because you only have certain types of moves. But in DDO, you can hit hold monster and hold something for like 30 seconds, even though it's on R10 and it can't do anything about it. You can hit instant kills and just delete monsters from the video game. So they have to add like crazy stuff, like giving every monster death ward or giving every champion freedom of movement and stuff like that to prevent those things. Yeah, well, Lord of the Rings had Reapers in the legendary servers because they had the Nazgul everywhere, but on top of that, they also had the actual like level scaling on the landscape.
The doors here are boarded up and sealed, save for one.
We were running R1 anyways. I don't really care. I also don't think that people would just be running the same quest twice in a row. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't think people would be like, oh, a Reaper in R1, cool. I'm gonna run Giant Hold Elite and then run Giant Hold Reaper.
This bookshelf seems to be like any other. Looking closer,
I just really don't think people are gonna do that. Like, some people will do that, but they will burn themselves out and hate it. Whereas the majority of people are going to just instead run a quest once and then move on to the next one. They're going to play on Elite or they're going to play on Reaper. Again, not saying that people won't do that because people do Shadow Crypt and stuff like that, but I just don't see the full leveling meta being everybody's going to run on the same difficulty.
Ready to confront the Baron in person.
You to have both 3 true, normal, hard, and elite difficulty. But yeah, we need more things like Vengeance Reapers that make the game more interesting. That's what we need. Vengeance Reapers do a really good job of making the game interesting because they force you to play around them, sort of. At least they did for a time. Back when you couldn't instantly kill everything, Vengeance Reapers were actually something you had to deal with. Then Spellcasters got too powerful, and you would just have an Alchemist or a Sorcerer bomb a group, and it would blow up the Vengeance Reaper and all the monsters, which was another problem. So yeah. You know what they should do? Imagine if Vengeance Reapers, they updated them, so Vengeance Reapers had half of the health, so their health bar was actually lower, and their explosion not only increased the damage of nearby allies, or like the nearby creatures, but on top of that, the explosion also made them everything immune to damage and crowd control for like 5 seconds. You're at the base with all the current mechanics? I don't think the game needs that at all. I think that'd be sick though. Vengeance Reaper bombs full heal mobs. Yeah, it breaks crowd control. It doesn't full heal things. But yeah, even if it was either a full heal or it just made them immune to damage for 5 seconds, so you're in crowd control. So if you kill the Vengeance Reaper, all of the monsters kill your group. Actually, give it some teeth, man. Your enemy Reaper always dispel buffs on every hit. The problem is a surprising amount of the modern builds like use little to no buffs.
Now there's nothing left of him but a brain
it's good with damage. Yep.
on the floor. He's paid the price for helping Dr.
Yeah, DDO's a video game, man. DDO's a video game.
Time to move on to finding the unbreakable heart.
Down, but may not be tied to creatures in the quest. Yeah. Again, what I would like to see is SSG with a Reaper rework. Add probably 2 new Reapers to each tier. So tier 1 is your Plague, Carnage, Famine, and Fear. Add 2 new Reapers to that one. Add 2 Reapers to the Despair and Vengeance tier, and add 2 Reapers to the Doom tier. And then make it so that the Reapers either rotate like either daily, which Reapers you have in your quest, or maybe it's just like random. Every time you load it in, it gives you a random smattering of some of the Reapers. You don't get them all at the same time.
Smells of this opulent reception. Yet the Baron himself is
They were meant to protect from other mobs. No, as somebody who has played through the quest, oh, what is that quest called? Can you look it up? When we gotta protect the mummies.
Woman in a lab coat and goggles.
What is that quest called?
Like a sore thumb. She stands far
It's not Haunted
away
Library.
from the others,
It is level 8.
eyeing them
Or is it 9?
clinical
It might be 9.
disdain.
Faithful Departed, that's it.
The Vault Keeper says that only the
Yeah.
Baron's servants are
That quest
allowed
is like the
to
worst quest
remove
ever.
things from the vault. Oddly, he made no mention of the Baron himself.
Modifiers, it's Manifest Zone. A Manifest Zone would make sense in DDO as well. Champion Reapers would be good too. There was a short time in DDO where there was a bug in the game. Some of you may or may not remember this, but this was I want to say 2017, maybe 2018. There was a bug that lasted in the game for 1 week, so it got hotfixed the next patch. And what the bug did is it made it so that anything could spawn as a champion. And so you could get red names as champions, you could get purple names as champions. That was like really, really fun. Very, very fantastic. Big fan of that. And then for those of you that don't remember either, there was Hardcore Season 4, which had the Symbiont champion. And that champion, when you killed it, it spread a disease to other nearby monsters, forcing them to become champions as well. And you could get Reapers that were champs, as well as bosses being champs if you weren't careful, if you killed them in the wrong spot.
Lift up our voices and our glasses to toast the brighter future that must surely arrive soon.
Unstoppable Reapers have to be CC'd or plus 50 RPRR.
And someone shoves past you.
That'd be interesting. I mean, that is a mechanic that they could add into the game. Monsters that you have to CC, and if you don't CC them, they have damage reduction. So you have to hit them with like a hard CC, like a stun or something else. Like as an example, in Lord of the Rings Online, there is, in the most current raid, there's actually these type of like gas clouds that do hideously high amounts of damage, and they're really dangerous. However, they're also immune to all damage until you crowd control them. So you need to have somebody who's like able to chain stun these guys to like break off their resistances. Hey, baby, look at that. We have an AFK person. Unfortunately, the AFK person's also the leader of our group. Stream log out. Oh, does that do it for everybody? Oh, I thought it had to be the person who wasn't in the hole. All right. All right. Boom, got him. That's how we get past that.
The
Fixed.
servitors are essential to manning the fishing fleet, and without the fleet, Lemordia would starve in a matter of weeks.
I can't even take credit. It's chat for that.
So, a few must die now to provide servitors.
Yeah,
This
I can't
saves
take credit.
lives later on.
That's
Surely
so
you can
funny.
see that.
Now
I
we're
must
through it.
admit, it's not the
You're
sort of
excited.
thing the
Wow,
masses
nice
could
hacks.
understand,
W-mans.
Which is why I can't let you leave.
Yeah, apparently, that's it.
The floor beneath you gives way. You plummet down to the dungeons below Schloss Albrecht.
Lowers to 5 people needed to the spot because you logged out and still believes you're in the gather's point. Amazing.
Welcome to another part of my home.
Oh shit.
Part most of my guests
Well,
never get to see.
This is a consequence.
This is where I keep some of the things Dr. Mordenheim
Mm-hmm.
Experiments. They're useful for security.
I think it's just the dialogue is still going for me. I'm like late joining into it. I'll probably get released eventually. You know, eventually. Oh, standing in ceremony. It'd be rude to leave when the Baron is speaking. Ah, yes.
The creature falls to the ground.
Perfect.
The floor shaking around it. Its
The
body
hulking
is
creature
motionless
falls.
once more.
Yep. And now we're chilling.
Don't imagine you can escape. My castle is staffed by very capable guards, as these
Almost
caverns
done.
are full of other things.
Almost there. I was really scared that somebody was going to drag that Reaper to me. In fact, I believe that in the party with you and Frosty Reception. Hey, I'm free. Let's go. Let's fight the monsters. We did it. Looking for the Dex/Wisdom Helm from here. Is there a Dex Wisdom Helm here? What the hell? Wait, I forgot I can actually like crowd control these guys because Dragon Lords are silly. So it's 79 on the Dragon Roar. That's madness. Yo, if 79 is working on these assholes, just imagine what that 117 is gonna do to them. I'm telling you guys, I think that heavy pick is gonna be like, it's gonna be the new meta.
The way out is blocked.
I do like that we have a barbarian who's killing everybody in here.
Similar to the ones holding in the scientists' experiments.
Oh, this one, you don't kill anything. What you do is you do the puzzle.
All the other barriers, releasing who knows what. But there's no other way out, and it's not likely you'll be coming back here in this case.
Nope, I'm busy. Go away. You just do the puzzle. Oh god. Okay, now we get out. And the reason you do that is because if you don't kill all the monsters, then the side doors don't open. Although you can kill them now. Once you leave the room, it's fine. You just want to kill them while you're in there. And then boom.
Anywhere in Lemuria for you to hide. You will pay for meddling with Dr. Mordenheim's scheme, one way or
You got
another.
Zilch. Legendary Lemurian Vest. I will say, because of the craftable nature of the Lemuria gear, I definitely don't have like a good imprint of it in my mind. I find that because of the wide amount of crafting that you have to do to make each item, they kind of stand out a little bit less. It's why I'm actually much more looking forward to the new expansions items, because the new expansion will have items that are partially craftable. So you're not crafting every single stat on it. You're only crafting some of the slots, which makes them a little bit more interesting generally. Also, I'm killing stuff at level 26. That's crazy. Pretty much all the quest gear is bad. I wouldn't say all the quest gear is bad in Lemuria. Oh, nice. That's it. That's the group. Instant strength, insightful strength, quality strength, artifact strength. Damn, that sounds pretty strong. Yeah, I haven't made a gear set for this character. I might save the gear set for
Stream feels good, man.
for something else. I'm currently playing on Thrain. I might save the gear set for when the expansion comes out. I think this character will be good, and if the expansion comes out in 12 days, then I have time to get this character to cap, figure out what I want to use for the new gear, and then go from there, which is probably going to be the play. But Infogens, welcome back to the stream team for 39 months. Appreciate the support. It's been a fantastic day. Glad to have you here. Welcome. Yeah, I'm on Thrain. Or as the text-to-speech machine likes to say, Trana. Okay, I've loaded Blade's Blessing. I got everything good here. No set. My favorite Path of Exile streamer. Hell yeah. So the expansion is supposed to release on the 22nd, which is unfortunate because I believe the new Path of Exile League is the 24th or the 29th. One of the two. So yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I would be... Oh, is that it? Is that all we're doing? Thanks. Take care. That's it. I'm gonna find a new quest to do. Den of Vipers hard, 1 of 7. They're running 7 Den of Vipers. I don't want to do that. Skeletons in the Closet. I don't want to do that either. Wish upon a card. Man, I don't want to make my own group. The Friar's Niece? Alright, I'm in. I love running the Catacombs, especially Epic Catacombs. I will say I actually do like running Epic Catacombs. Yeah, this weekend, unfortunately, I am a little bit busy. As for those of you that aren't in the know, I'm going to probably give you some information that you don't have, but you will now have, which is that this weekend is Pokemon Go Fest. So if you play Pokemon Go, it's a big Pokemon Go event, which will be featuring first release of Mega Mewtwo X and Y into the game. And so I'm going to be, my friends and I are going to be going out this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, going to catch some Pokemon and hanging out with other people. There's like a park downtown, and there's like over 100 people that have already signed up to go. Character server transfer soon? Yeah, me too. In Pokemon Evolutions with that name.
The markings near this, the rattle of a portcullis echoes.
Well, they don't really have, there's not a lot of Sonic, there's like some Sonic Pokemon. There's like Chatot and Exploud. Oh, no, it's Go Fest. It's like Pokemon Go Festival, not Go Fast.
There are more signs of bloodshed in
Yeah.
the north.
You can go fast as well. That is an option. There are fast Pokemon.
The faint
Like Pokemon Go has Regieleki, the fastest Pokemon in the game, and you can get it.
smell of corruption.
It's kinda
grows
mid.
Stronger. The dead here are days old.
Hot dog evolutions. They have Doxbun,
The dead deaths went unnoticed for so long.
which is close enough. They have this Pokemon, Doxbun. So it's a dog. It's like a bun, and it's a wiener dog. Does that count? It's more of a pastry. It is more of a pastry. I will totally agree with you there. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. It is always entertaining to me as well. Every time I bring up Pokemon Go, there's always a lot of people who are like, yeah, do people still play that game? Is that like a thing people do? Do you remember 2016 when people played it for like an hour? And that was it. Yeah, people still play Pokemon Go. It's like still one of the top games in like the Android and Apple store. It's pretty good. I will say, if you're not a Pokemon person, it's just a good way. If you can't convince yourself, if you're somebody who needs to like go outside because physical exercise is good for you and you don't have a good way to convince yourself, that's how I use it. I use it as a reason to go outside and go for walks because I don't like just going around and getting exercise for no reason. But the Pokemon Go makes it so I'm like doing an activity that's fun. So that gets me outside and being physically active. So I enjoy that part of it. And if you're somebody who just likes mobile phone games, but you don't want to have to deal with like, the nonsense of having to spend hundreds of quadrillions of dollars, which is a major problem with pretty much every single mobile phone game. Pokemon Go lets you kind of circumvent that, which is really, really nice. Because it's pretty cheap. Like, it's very, very easy to play the game 100% for free. I don't spend any money on Pokemon Go ever. The only thing is, if you don't leave your house, you can't play it for free. You have to go to all the little Pokestops that are going to be around your neighborhood. Also, if you live in the country, you also can't really play Pokemon Go that well because out in the middle of nowhere, they don't have Pokestops. But if you live in any type of city, they're literally everywhere once you turn them on.
The moans of the undead rumble throughout the
You're kind of missing when it came out that data being harvested from Pokemon was used for AI training. Yeah, that sucks.
This must be where the warden kept his key.
To be fair, pretty much all data is being used for AI training at this point, because they're just stealing it anyway. Hi, how come the monk level, element of the word, and not centered? Oh, I have an answer for you, Caspers. It's because I will be centered. I'm just not centered right now. My character in the future is going to be using this weapon. the Eidolon of Shadow. The Eidolon of Shadow is a great sword that, because it's a physical manifestation of my own will, as a Shadow Blade is not physical, monks may use it without becoming uncentered. So I can't use it yet, but once it gets level 29, I'll be able to equip this, and I will have it be centered. On top of that, I need to get it as a favorite weapon, so I'm going into the Divine Crusader tree to get it as a favorite weapon as well, so I get all of the bonuses. All glued to their phones. Yeah, man, sick. I've met a lot of really cool people from playing Pokemon Go. Also, you see, if you go to like public parks and stuff, if you go on Saturday or Sunday, you will see like a whole bunch of people outside at pretty much any public park in your area, just playing Pokemon Go on their phones. And you'll also see like a lot of big groups. It's really cool to see like whole families. So you'll see like, you know, their parents with their kids, or it's like big clumps of different friend groups just walking around catching Pokemon. It's a cool time. I enjoy it. Like I said, I've met a lot of really interesting people from playing the game.
This way you hear the rattle of iron.
What's up, Yamura? How are you?
Metallic growling.
Yeah. I don't know when we're going to get transfers. The last we heard about transfers was around the anniversary, where they're like, yeah, we really want to get transfers going between the servers. And everyone's like, yeah, let's get transfers going. Like, yeah, we want to have transfers going like soon. And this was in like, I think February when we last heard about this. Anyway, it's July. And we still don't have transfers between the servers, which is not good because we want to be able to do that. Oh yeah, it was producer's letter, but then there was like more elaborated, and I believe it was February. There was more elaborated on by Tolero in like an interview, where they talked about it, and yeah. Unfortunately, I wanted more of these things. Also, I would go in. I just don't remember what the Reaper difficulty was. I keep saying 2 on my screen. I don't know if we were actually going on Reaper 2. I don't want to be one of those people that creeps up the Reaper difficulty without like actually asking. It just keeps saying 2. You're on Reaper. I didn't load yet, apparently. I'm on the old quest. We're on Reaper 2. Okay, good. That's what we're doing. Let's all mass tree to Moonsea Mega Server. Let's go is making SSG delay it. I don't know about that. Also, who's going to go to Moonsea? There's not that many. There's not that many people who want to play on the European servers. Not that there aren't a fair number of Europeans that play Dungeons & Dragons online, but I just don't think that there's a lot of people that would want to play on the European server if they're not European. I thought we could make like a mega server out of Cormier, but it didn't end up actually happening. I will say I am mildly worried because Cormier being the lower population server, I think people will transfer off of Cormier when given the option. And I think that for the most part, Rain, I think Moonsea will get some transfers to it for sure. But I think that Rain is not really going to change that much in terms of population. Like people aren't going to be transferring off, or if it's going to be neutral, people going to and from Rain. But I definitely think that given the opportunity, people will transfer the stuff off of Cormier. I also have several friends that decided to either transfer to Cormier or Shadowdale because they didn't know where to go, and they just kind of picked one. Maybe the Ghost Town Cormier will become. Maybe. What build is this? This build is the Purplest Dragon Knight. So we're going with a Sacred Fist, Purple Dragon Knight, who's using Dragon Lord and Monk, and we're going to be using this weapon, the Eidolon of Shadow. The reason I want to use this item is because the Eidolon of Shadow, get closest here. The Eidolon of Shadow is a weapon that has been pretty bad for a very long time, and one of the main reasons it's been bad is because it has force damage as its base damage type, which means it doesn't do physical damage. If you attack somebody with the Eidolon of Shadow, you don't do slash damage, you do force. And this was an issue because the main way you scale damage at the endgame is by reducing your enemy's physical and magical resistance rating. In fact, this weapon does it itself with Constricting Nightmares, reducing enemy's physical and magical resistance rating by 10. If I reduce an enemy's physical resistance rating by 10, that just means I do 10% more damage to it. It's not quite that, but to simplify it, that's basically what that means. So if I have a bunch of debuffs from different classes all stacking together, you can reduce a monster's physical resistance rating by 100, which means you're effectively dealing double damage to that monster. And double damage is 100% more damage, which is pretty cool. So having a sword that deals force damage, which has the magical property of not being affected by physical or magical resistance rating, kind of sucks. You would think it would be kind of good. Oh, you can ignore defenses. If I have a force weapon, what if the monster, Shrimtom, what if the monster has like 50 physical resistance rating? Well, now you're doing less damage, but my sword is going to do better. Except monsters don't have physical or magical resistance rating. They're set to 0 across the entire game, across every single monster. So, there's no reason to have this damage type. So SSG was like, all right, screw it, we're changing it. So now, you'll notice magic resistance rating protects you from acid, sonic, fire, electric, cold, alignment, light, positive, negative, poison, and force now, when it used to not do that. It is now on magic resistance rating, which means you can reduce an enemy's magic resistance rating and deal an increased amount of damage to them, allowing this weapon, the Idol of Shadow, to actually deal competitive endgame damage. Big asterisk, it's a two-handed weapon, so no, well, two-handed weapons are not good. But in theory, if two-handed weapons ever get better somehow, this weapon will fit right into that mold, because Constricting Nightmare is actually a relatively rare debuff. One of the problems with Constricting Nightmare is that the common name for this effect is Legendary Ooze. Legendary Ooze specifically because that's the name of the legendary green steel effect that would not only give you this debuff, but also summons oozes when you attack people. And summoning oozes is not ideal. When you summon oozes, you can't control them. They're not like a dog that you can control, like a druid pet or something. You have no control over what happens to your oozes. So the oozes will more often than not run around and attack stuff, they'll pull aggro on things, and they might even bug out certain encounters. For example, if you decide to bring an ooze weapon into the raid Den of Vipers, you will get perma blacklisted by everybody you play with, because the oozes roll around and they attack the monsters, and specifically they attack the heads of the Hydra, and they can either kill them or just get them locked in places where you don't want them. And they get super in the way, not preventing completion, but making completion much harder. In fact, if you have too many oozes, they can actually prevent completion because the collision from the oozes prevent monsters from moving through them, so you can't even move the heads if you have too many oozes. So, unfortunately, Legendary Ooze is not a good effect. But, like, it is a good effect. You just can't actually have the oozes physically present because they do too many dangerous and bad things to the actual video game. The solution to this problem, however, is nice. Basically, the solution is Constricting Nightmares, a very rare effect on a few set of items. And this item allows you to apply this debuff without the oozes, meaning you hold a place in the raid, which is kind of cool. Because if it weren't for you, people would do 10% less damage. Fire Immune uses endlessly stacking aids. And Threat Sold. I didn't even think about Threat Sold anew. Yeah, the infinite oozes stacking up the debuff in Threat Sold anew. That's true. Am I being shot? Oh, there's an archer.
A plaque on the floor reads, you hear it click under Gerard's feet with a shriek of rusty metal.
Intersect is a Lamania Wolfless slot? Oh, 100%. But most people also aren't going to be using ooze. Also remember, a lot of people are instead going to be using, whether it's... Are you dead near me? Where are you? Where'd you die? Middle? Middle. Most people are not going to be using ooze. They're usually going to be using dust or ash, the things that are more, like, powerful for their own character. And so I think that it's just good to be able to bring that alternate debuff. Again, some people are bringing ash and ooze, but not everybody.
The mess made by the ghouls makes it impossible to tell if Gerard...
Now, where are you, Greylight? Thaddeus Greylight comes there. There he is.
All you can do now is report your findings, as if on cue.
The Lower Cathedral with all haste. Okay, thanks, buddy.
Enters the room.
So yeah, it just allows me to hold my own like spot in the group, so I can make sure that I always get to have something to do. Plus, I think it's kind of cool. It's a really cool weapon that, by nature of some of the changes surrounding, you might be wondering why all these changes happen. It's because of the release of the Arcane Trickster, which forced this force damage thing to change. Because if they hadn't changed it, Arcane Trickster would not be nearly as good as it currently is. Right now, Arcane Trickster is the best spellcaster in the game, and without this change, you'd be losing about a third of your damage almost immediately. So it is very, very good that they made this change. I guess I can go this way. So yeah. So inadvertently, one of my favorite items in the game, the Eidolon of Shadow, is coming back. It's going to be the Charisma Paladin, Pure Charisma Paladin 2. Technically, this is a Paladin. It's not going to inspire many of you when you hear, technically, it doesn't mean, like, it is a Paladin. I'm getting as close as I can, okay? As close as I can to Paladin. Without touching the lines. Because I'm a Sacred Fist with a sword. There's a lot of wacky stuff that went in this build to make it function. It's good. What is this guy? Dragon Disciple, Fighter, Dual Wielding? Hell yeah. When you get some actual buffs. Yeah, if Arcane Pulse actually was able to do damage when you cast the spell, that would be cool. The fact that you have to cast Arcane Pulse 7 times to make it do something is not good. I like what the suggestion some people brought up, which is that Arcane Pulse instead should make it so that whenever you cast it in Magus of the Eclipse, if it was like, oh, instead of starting at 1 stack and stacking up, now when you cast it, it starts at 5 stacks and counts down.
Before you stands the sarcophagus.
Oh, just make it a passive effect, so it just applies when you do something else. Yeah, that could be a cool idea. It makes the Sword Sings a much better move, or Strike a Chord is a much better move all of a sudden. Bye, shadows. Give me treasure.
The air grows colder as you round.
Yeah, Arcane Pulse is just a really horrible effect.
You hear
Outside of that,
and the clank of armor. Something terrible stirs ahead. Near the temple wards have been Marguerite snaps out of her stupor. Listen, she commands.
oh, I got the epic holistic stave.
Marguerite screams as her body is
Dude, that's so much
absorbed
healing
into the
amplification.
shadowy form.
Nick item for hardcore. Outside of that, not great, but sick item for hardcore. It's action economy, the lack of focus on sustained damage. Arcane Pulse is focused on sustained damage, but interacts badly with action economy.
Ring from up this pass. The altar lies beyond the gates ahead of you.
Ever since Pathfinder 2 came out, like, I never heard people use the term action economy basically ever. And then Pathfinder 2 came out, and dude, it's action economy this, action economy that. I'm telling you, man. I'm sure there were other places in which the term action economy was used, but that was all my friends were talking about. Oh, but the action economy is so interesting. I just find it funny.
I shall attend to it in a trice.
Grabinator looking ass.
Dude, don't be upset just because you got grabinated so hard. You got grabinated. This is unrelated, but if you're somebody who likes the Bazaar, I posted this in the Discord, but I didn't post about it. I literally didn't make a post about it because it was just a wacky build that I'd never seen before. There's an item in the Bazaar called the Grabinator, and what it does is it's a medium item. It destroys an enemy medium item and then replaces it with that. So basically you like yoink their item. And I got it because I used Wink to re-roll my entire board, and I got the Atomic Clock. I got the powder horn that reloads items, so it could reload the clock, and I got the Grabinator. And so I had this stupid annoying build where all I did is destroy and take one of your items and then use the clock to slow you down, and I got it randomly. It had no chance to win. I had no damage. I couldn't kill people. I had nothing I could do. It was the worst build ever, but I got it randomly, and I kept winning games because it turns out you just blow up one person and it's over. And I thought it was just a really funny, very short set of circumstances. But the way the Bazaar works is that your character, after you like play on a day, your ghost is left there and anyone can play against your ghost. So after a new patch happens, the first person to play plays against a bunch of bots, but then once they go through, there is Ghost is now the Ghost, and then as more people make it to those days, there's more Ghosts to add to the pool. So the later the season goes on, the less likely you are to actually hit a Ghost of somebody you know, because there's more Ghosts in the pool. I think they do get cleaned out every once in a while. There's like a limit to them, but it's pretty rare. And then there's Quintoxic posting and tags me in Discord because he had to go up against my stupid Gravinator build and lost. From like several days ago. He got Gravinated so hard, dude. Oh. Literally one of the worst builds I ever played. I'm so happy with it. Man, I Gravinated the hell out of your haste. It was my haste. Only noted that it's a Sacred Fist. Yep, yeah, it's a Sacred Fist. I didn't go with regular Paladin, and I went Sacred Fist for actually a pretty good reason. Even though regular Paladin might seem like it's better, there's a spell called Sacred Flame Empowerment that you get as a Sacred Fist, and Sacred Flame Empowerment is really good. What it does is it allows you to get 3 extra Imbue dice, which is like noticeable, but then on a critical hit, it gives you an extra d20 damage per Imbue dice that you have. And since I'm gonna have a lot of Imbue dice, and then on top of that, an extra d20 that scales off of melee power on crit per Imbue dice is a lot of damage in short order. Charisma to saves, AC, attack, and damage. I did want all of that. I had my charisma and my dex to my armor class, dude. How cool is that? I love having high armor class. In pen and paper, I think my favorite stat to have is armor class. By no small margin. I love armor class.
Archbishop Dryden
No,
stares down at
it's
you.
only the between Monk and Sacred Fist, it just takes the highest. Its charisma is higher than my wisdom, so it only uses my charisma.
A cold wind blows through the room. Then a dry whisper floats out from the shrine. So,
Wait, who's going to level up instead of doing the last quest? Oh no, we're all here. I didn't read.
the skull of Gerard Dryden floats before you. The undead remains of the man who
Kill quick. Yeah, it's kill them. Enough to kill one more guy. I think this is the last guy, so I think we should be good there. Oh, this will count though. Oh, it does count. Let's go get him. Give me that extra 500 Reaper XP. 500.
The battle is won.
Epic wooden prayer
Archbishop
beads.
Dryden seems to have
Action from
lost
Elements
his
Mass.
mind,
I mean, again, these are
along
like,
with
that's a
his
kind of a cool
credibility.
cast. I don't know.
You
I don't hate it.
report what's happened to Friar Renault.
There's some neat items. The problem is they're like mid-level, so you're never ever going to use them, but it's neat. Thank you for joining, they said. Don't tell me I have to find a new group after this. I hate finding new groups. Yeah, the only thing about Sacred Flame Empowerment is kind of short. You can extend it and you can quicken it. Both of which are feats I don't have. Oh, thank you all. Take care. All right, well, since my group is dissolving anyway, I'm going to get some water because it's warm and I'm dehydrated. It's not like hot, but it is warm outside. But it's not like hot. It's like a nice day. It's kind of beautiful outside. I have water. It's really low. Yeah, it is. It is low by default. All right. Anything interesting to do? Minor sacrifice? No, I don't want to do that. Lesson in deception? You know, I could do lesson in deception. I do kind of want to do all of them. Wait, have I done any of Evening Star at all? No, I haven't. Oh, I can make my own group then. All right. 20 to 27. Reaper mode. Evening Star. Is it Evening Star? I think it's Evening Star, yeah. About to break. Yeah, what's up, Kevin Head? How are you doing? How are ya? Just my fate arc option for leveling. Dude, there's so many cool options. I should do Mask of Deception. Isn't Mask of Deception still closed? I thought Mask of Deception still closed because it's broken. It may in fact not be broken, so yeah. It was closed for a while though. Fun fact, Ipsum, you'll like this. Do you remember all of those fun items that you really liked out of Memoirs of an Illusory Larcener? Like the Thorn Toad boots that grant you quality strength, or the Pansophic Circlet? People love those. Those items are now in Mask of Deception because Memoirs doesn't exist anymore. Yo, Pansophic Circlet is not a bad item. Get the heck out of here. Closed since then? Oh, if it's open, it's open. It was just closed for a while. Do I have ship buffs? I do. I do have ship buffs. Okay.
Head priest
Did a double check.
says, take that key on the table. I forget which wing it opens, I'm afraid.
I gotta run it now? No, I don't. Good question though. Maybe. Yeah, what I was gonna say. Because of all like my doctor visits and my heart problems and other stuff, I've been on like a slightly more regimented diet. And over the past month, I've lost 15 pounds. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. It's a thing. I have to keep apprised of that until my doctor on my next visit, but it is interesting.
This wizard
And Sophic into the new rare one. That's true. And the Sunblade into the Nullblade. I don't know if SSG is going to fix the issues with the Nullblade. I hope they do, but I don't know if they will. So I'll let you guys know. We're going to be testing it the second we get the next Lamania to see if it has been fixed. The current issue with the Nullblade and what it's doing wrong is that the Nullblade has the magic tag on it, which basically makes the weapon default to its base damage type. So the Nullblade is a pure evil weapon. So in theory, it should do pure evil damage, but it has the magic tag, which forces it to count as a weapon, but it doesn't have any weapon tags. So the game says, oh, this is bad against everything. So as a result, a Rakshasa, who you need to bypass with piercing damage reduction, you need piercing and good. Unfortunately, you can never bypass the damage reduction of Rakshasa with this weapon, because even if you can enchant it to become good, you can't enchant it to become piercing. It's a damage typeless weapon, so it is broken. And is the reason why the magic tag was removed from a whole bunch of weapons. Again, if you'll notice, there's no magic tag on stuff like Valorius or Marana of the Flames, or even this bad boy. There's no magic tag. The magic tag breaks it, and so if they, hopefully either they do one of two things: remove the magic tag, so that way it becomes a pure elemental weapon and it does pure evil damage. Or if they don't want it to be that and they want it to be like a physical weapon, then keep the magic tag there and just give it piercing. So it actually works. What's new hotness single weapon fighter? I'm not sure. I can tell you that with the expansion coming out, there's going to be a lot of interesting weapons to choose from. So I can see there being quite a lot of new stuff. I gotta remember to hit these guys. They say they'll be doing another Lamania. I hope they will, but I feel like they very rarely do more than 2 Lamanias. Given that, I will say this, they openly stated while I was running the content that they were still working out the story of the expansion and where pieces were going to go. And it's supposed to come out in 2 weeks. They better have another Lamania. Yeah, the Nullblade is a Sunblade that deals pure evil damage, as opposed to the Sunblade, which deals physical damage. It also looks like a dark saber, like a dark lightsaber.
Shame about poor old Perrin, but the key thing is, Evening Star is safe.
If you've played Destiny 2 and you've gone against Boss Harrow from the Equilibrium dungeon, it looks just like that. It's very cool. It's dark instead of light. It's dark. I didn't even show you these quests. Overgrowth, Thornbapaw. Well, like I said, I don't know if there's new hotness right now because I think people are gearing up for the new expansion. I think that's the bigger thing, is that the new expansion has so much crazy gear. I am not exaggerating, and other people can corroborate me on this. The expansion coming up has the most powerful gear ever being added in the history of Dungeons and Dragons Online.
Enter Uth Lodge, you are greeted only by silence. And
Literally
a
ever.
Smell. A smell like a weed-choked
So as a result of this, there's going to be some new gear coming that we're going to change a lot of builds and are going to help some people decide what they really want to play.
Uth Lodge, some foul, there is some kind of
Again, whether this is a good or a bad thing is going to be up to your opinion, but yeah. There's an absolute truth nuke right there.
defeating his fellow defenders has drawn the wound.
Oh man, that melee artifact ring is so disgusting. Hey, what if you just had an item that made it so that if you rolled a 20, you knocked an enemy down every time?
He will not defend this strange
Every time.
any longer.
And then you're single weapon fighting, so you Vorpal on 19s. And you have the double strike belt. Yeah, also the acid attunement with deadly with legendary hit points.
Gray-clad figure
Mm-hmm.
deeper into the house.
And they're all rare gear. Oh yeah. Guard breaking but better, basically. It's literally guard breaking but better for every weapon type in the game. Dude, there's so much cool stuff.
Something rustles in the deep foliage of the room.
More importantly than the cool Warhammer with 1920. Here's the thing. When it comes to the weapons, I'm going to say this. We're probably going to get some really crazy raid gear. So if you're like, oh, wow, all these weapons look pretty good, just wait for the raid gear, you guys. The raid gear is probably going to be really crazy. It's so long farming for the hard shard.
Now has
True.
one few. It's the man in gray again. Always one step ahead. The Baron Uth was ransacked broken through the roof with only the air in the cellar was chilled. That smell. Look sharp! To arms! The third
Hey, we got him.
taken notice of the disturbance.
Turbo, double shot
Does
trinket,
not see
wind netting, elusive, and max dodge neck. Mm-hmm. I'm not with my teammate because I am fighting this. Also, I missed with Sunder. Go to hell, Sunder. Even gives you +10 on the attack roll.
Hell, Matt.
I missed again. I rolled 2 1s.
Barker leaves for company.
My
You
God.
are aware this place is far from safe.
I literally need to not roll a 1. I rolled 2. God damn it.
There's an old song in your songbook I can see. A wooden
XD indeed.
M.A. Harper. You've heard of our order? I came in search.
Did I take
of
power
a
attack?
missing
No, I took
noble.
precision.
It's a long
Then I
tale.
can't take improved Sunder. I think improved Sunder is actually quite good with this character.
Help me find him. And I thought the master of this house might just as much by smell as by sight. Hunger the dryad and her tree.
Come back.
Source of corruption.
Yes, here, float. You do the single target damage. I'll do this.
Dryad and the tree. We must wipe them out.
There we go. Oh, we gotta kill the tree though. The tree. Perfect.
Uth Lodge has been cleansed.
Or the raid gear will be lackluster and everyone will be upset. Yeah, possibly. That's also a possibility. Oh, you're here. I needed to send you something.
Lives deep within King's Forest. I think we should pay him a visit.
Here you go. Here you go. I've sent you my reply. Yo, what's up, Big? How are you? I have big news for you. After I'm done streaming today, I'm going to be posting the next beginner or not beginner basics, the next solo guided artificer will be going up. Anyway, I'll be back in a sec.
You have reached Thorn Hollow, the Druid Hallsame's home. This idyllic woodland scene betrays nothing of what corruption lies within. Great root barriers have grown over every bear den. What twisted force is at work here? This is far from nature in balance. This waterfall remains clean and pure, untouched by the corruption. At the center of this cavern is a focal with the corruption node
I've got to plug something in.
destroyed. The force
Sorry.
of its
Let
vitality
it go and do that.
falters and recedes.
Woo! Okay, we're good.
Corrupted root walls wither and grow brittle throughout. The second corruption node is destroyed.
My teammates are doing the whole entire quest.
Vibrations reverberate underfoot and then throughout the hollow. Perhaps now it will be possible to enter Hallsame's chamber.
One's going that way. Oh, already died. To the left or the right? Left. Okay. How far? Not too far. Die bears. All right, let's go on a rescue mission. Yeah, I forgot. There's something else just to plug in downstairs. A piece of electronics that needed to be charged. I also need to find my battery. I have a portable battery somewhere in this house, and I need to find it so I can plug it in for the weekend. For like remote charging of devices. This is supposed to be a nice weekend. So I'm excited to get in some Pokemon Go time. The boy lives. All right, now we're good.
The last corruption node
I do wish I had a way of getting rid of like
the surrounding roots
the green.
rage.
I don't like it. I can hide it. If rain moving in this weekend, so it'll only be like 105. Wow, rain. That's crazy. I don't know it could rain in Arizona. That's wild. Speaking of Arizona and unlivable deserts, did you hear that apparently Obsidian is working on a new Fallout New Vegas? Fallout New Vegas number 2? I'm not gonna lie, that does sound kind of good. Mm-hmm. Well, sort of. It's kind of cool because basically Obsidian is a subsidiary of Microsoft and had a bunch of layoffs. And so they were working on Avowed 2, but unfortunately Avowed 2 got canceled. And so they're now working on Fallout New Vegas 2. Is that what Todd wants? Well, they were working on Avowed 2. Although, according to Jason Schreier of Bloomberg, he said that they still have a small part of their studio who are continuing to work on Avowed 2 on the side. But hates Obsidian doing a Fallout. Yeah. So my personal opinion, which I don't think is going to be that crazy, is that I like Fallout New Vegas, but the problem with Fallout New Vegas is it's harder to engage with because there's never been any updated versions or ports of it. So it has a lot of problems and it crashes a lot whenever I try to play it on my modern computer system. And I have to download a mods and do a lot of fuckery to get it to function. And it's really annoying. Avowed Pillars of Eternity. Oh no, they're still making Pillars of Avowed 2. It's just they're not getting direct support anymore from Microsoft, so they have like a small team of people that are going to continually work on it. So it's going to come out eventually. But as opposed to being like their main project, it's now being relegated to the sidelines. I didn't play Avowed. The only thing I heard about Avowed is that it's just kind of boring. Like it's just like your bog standard 3-dimensional RPG. And it didn't really do a whole lot to push the envelope in terms of like what you could do with a 3D RPG. That being said, I'm currently playing through Pillars of Eternity 1, and that game is kind of sick. I really, really like the endurance system. It's actually kind of genius. It's a genius way to manage health. I really like it. The only thing I don't like about it is that sometimes status effects get really out of whack. I'm like still close to the beginning, but I've had multiple scenarios that either you get status so you can't do anything forever and your character's like entirely stuck, or the interrupt mechanic where you basically get knocked back and you don't get your turn ever because you're getting attacked by too many targets. Makes sense from a thematic standpoint. But man, does it suck when you don't have a lot of units. The villain and the game begins with him already quitting, then you play the game enforcing his will. I don't know if I want to do that. I like being the hero of the story. Yeah, so far I'm enjoying Pillars of Eternity. I'm going to be finished playing through it. It's good. It's very good. I like the world that's kind of built up in, which is cool. Yeah. Now, I don't own Avowed, but I do own Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2, because I got them on sale. And my girlfriend owns Avowed, and we have like the Steam family thing. So if I enjoy Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2 enough, I might consider going and playing that as well. Just to continue on with like the story and all that. Because apparently the games are actually connected, like you meet people from other things. Did I play Baldur's Gate? Yeah, Baldur's Gate 2 is in my top 10 games list of all time. What a phenomenal piece of software. It drops off a cliff in Pillars, and the highest difficulty makes the start awful while still becoming easy too late. I think that's just the nature of RPGs with stacking mechanics. Because it's a similar thing that happens in like the Pathfinder games and other stuff as well, where the hardest part is in the beginning, where you don't have access to a lot of resources and you're kind of at the mercy of the dice roll, whether you hit or miss or how often you get crit. And then as you get later in the game, you're like, oh cool, my character attacks, 9 times a turn, crits with like 30% of the time, and on a crit does over 1,000 damage, so you just like wipe everything off the map, or you can just cast a spell that freezes up the whole screen. Especially because initiative is too good in those games. So in Pathfinder, if you just have enough initiative, like, oh, I'm plus 40 on initiative, cool, I just go first every time. And so all your party takes a turn before the opponents get to take one turn, so it's over before they get to take a turn. And I think that's just the par for the course with RPGs. Even in Baldur's Gate, it had this problem. I don't know about Baldur's Gate 3, because I'm going to be honest, I kind of blanked a lot of the end game, but like once you get to Act 3, I kind of like started to glaze over a bit. Like, because it's pretty long. But in Baldur's Gate 2, Baldur's Gate 2 is basically who casts time stop first. Do you cast time stop first, or do your opponents cast time stop first? Because whoever casts time stop first wins that fight. Until you get to the point where the monsters become immune to time stop, where you start fighting like the dragon that ignores time stop, or the final boss who is a god who ignores time stop, which makes sense. Fuck, man, that gets you though, out of nowhere. Yeah, like I said, I'm still at the beginning, so I don't know that experience. I just do know that a lot of times the CRPGs happen to have that kind of feeling where your character starts out very weak, or your party's very weak, but you get very powerful towards the end. Also, what's up, Chris? How are you doing? I'm not sure what the engine they're going to be using for Obsidian Fallout, but yeah. Microsoft is like, hey, time to make the thing. Oh, I'm playing turn-based. I like turn-based combat. It is designed for real-time with pause, but I don't personally like real-time with pause that much. It was something I didn't love about Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. Now, the thing is, it was designed with real-time with pause and not with turn-based, which means playing it turn-based takes a very long time by comparison. And that's just kind of the nature of this type of game. And I understand it, but I just personally prefer to play turn-based, so that's how I'm doing it. Which is, again, not how you're supposed to be experiencing it. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay doing my own little wacky little thing. No, I'm at the gold limit! Fuck! Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Welcome. We're heading to the high road detour next. Save for the CC update? I will later. Deposit. I don't know. Can I deposit 2 million? Yeah, I can. Good. Okay, good. Oh my god. Annoying. At all. And I just need to find the thieves' tools. Sell. It was fun. It's working well. I agree. Play position for the added turn-based. Kind of want to replay it with turn-based. Yeah. Like I said, the only issue that I found so far is if you have 3 monsters attacking one character, that character never gets a turn. Literally never. Turn for challenges how Pillar 2 did it. In Pillar 1, they don't have the ability. They don't have the ability to hot swap it. So not like in the Pathfinder games and probably Pillars of Eternity 2. But yeah, they can't hot swap it, which is unfortunate. Also, I have to level up. I'm like capped on XP. There might be a way to hot swap it. I didn't see one in game that you could hot swap it quickly.
Too excited. I can already tell there'll be plenty more out there trying to stop us.
Again, I only put in like 5 hours, so I just started playing. Creative block. Maybe someone from my D&D party is currently exploring an enormous crater. The crater was once an enormous holy city, think like the Vatican, and it was destroyed by a meteor from far realms. It's full of demons and horrible stuff. Any ideas might be at the center of the creator? Well, presumably the remnants of the meteor should be at the center of the creator. Although the real question is, like, why did it get hit by a meteor? Was it sent by the demons? Was the meteor summoned from within? Is it something from like deep space, an outer deity? And so there was like a cultist, a church cultist who was like a worshiper of one of these like outer far reaches deities who ended up summoning the meteor, which destroyed the church, which, because the outer deities are so far removed from understanding of reality, even the demons don't really know about their existence, so they think it's a sign for them to invade, but it turns out it's actually some like external plot, and you find like a summoning circle or like a ritual thing, or maybe like a portal that drives somebody insane when they touch it.
Ignore this roadblock. The lodge isn't down that way. Just take care of our attackers and move into the forest when you're done.
I don't know. What other caps can you find? Oh, you can find lots of caps.
Don't be fooling what he meant by oh no.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, well, it's probably nothing.
Meteor or a ship and its aliens? True, it could be a ship. It could be a creature. You could go like the you could do the Metroid Prime route where the meteor is not actually a meteor, but it's actually like an alien life form that lands, and it's the Phazon. It's like the Phazon seeds. Oh no! Where's Dazzling? Dazzling's here. Oh, Dazzling's dead. Oh. So to see them add different hirelings at the epic hireling vendor or legendary hireling vendor, I agree. But the problem is, other than healing hirelings, we don't really need any other special hirelings, and they add a lot of special hirelings from the system, like from the expansion system. I do think it would be neat if you could rent a hireling, so you could, like, as opposed to owning all the expansion hirelings, there was a vendor that had all the expansion hirelings, and you could rent them for a price, but you could only have one. Be kind of neat. Here's a giant rock monster you fight. Yeah, that could be cool. Here's Brother City. The meteor isn't there any longer. It's being piloted around the far realms by an archfiend. The meteor's gone, eh? I mean, if it's if the whole plot is that it's a dead god that fell to Earth and created the crash, and it landed on the city of the dead gods, the other god's brother, whatever. Maybe at the bottom is like a pool of godlike power.
I'll bet that druid helped them divine its location.
That's like coalesces at the bottom, and it's like slammed together.
Should be downstairs. Follow me.
Oh, you know, if you like Frogo, if you never get to use Frogo, yeah, could be an idea. Electrum Seal hirelings, yeah. I'm trying to think, what would be there? What's an interesting and compelling story? What's going to be there? What are we going to find? Oh, Benson's dead. That was fast. Or Benson's here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. That's it. We're all here. The Stream Tom, I think we're in. Oh no, that was Benson. Oh, that was Benson.
Feel free to take anything else you find.
Heading to Lost in the Swamp. Got Frogo from if I bought the pack. You get them from the guy either inside of the Saltmarsh, in like the boat in Saltmarsh in the inn, or all expansion vendors with their stuff are in, every single one of them is inside of, what do you call it? The Hall of Heroes, downstairs, near where the VIP person is. Which reminds me, I gotta collect my VIP loyalty system rewards. A rogue epic hireling level 24. Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, if there's a 20 like a Frogo, I mean, Darling should be able to do most things, I think, if you own Darling. I'm trying to think of other ideas, because without having as much details, what else could you do about like what's at the bottom of above the crater? I mean, presumably, like I said, I kind of the easy route, I think, with your crater problem is like the dark and sinister. So like there's something sinister at the bottom where, like, you know, the holy city above is like a veneer that hides the sinister underbelly of XYZ happening. It's a pretty tried and true trope that's been done 100 million times. It could also be, you know, you could go a different way about it if you want. And as opposed to like the trope of underneath the shining holy city, again, there's the veneer that just has all the evil that was underneath. Instead, you can kind of do it the other way and imagine that beneath the city, what they find is like a hole or a crack that leads to a different city, and specifically it's another city of like a different god or goddess who is applying influence, but in a different way. So I don't want to say like benevolent, but another good deity who is applying some type of like pressure in that area. And so you know, people were slowly adopting their rules subliminally without realizing it. But again, not in like a bad way. In like imagine if an area that is predominantly has the silver flame, or like the sovereign host as like the ruling body of deities, but then underneath the city, there's like ancient temple grounds that were filled with like the silver flame, where it was actually having influence, and so it was like slowly influencing the people that were above it, and so now it's like open and it's like a less of a secret, and there's like a ancient civilization there.
The Medusa raises a magic barrier as she directs her minions
Or,
to
okay,
attack.
this is the dumbest idea I've ever. You know what else you could do? Imagine that at the bottom, there's like the body that fell, but people don't realize what it is almost initially because all the people that lived there died. So the first set of explorers that go in find this like, find the body of a god, but it's actually just like an endless source of meat. And so they've been going and like moving it. And they moved out some of this, like these huge chunks of meat, and have just been like using them to feed people, but people have been like feeding on the body of this dead god, which has been causing problems all over the place, or begin to cause problems because the people that were not realizing it. So people are like eating divinity suddenly. Invisible dice appeared a few years ago. We're all trying to get back, struck you in the post, and made a fresh tune saved in the UI. Any tips? I've never had the visible dice disappear on me, so I'm not sure. I wish I could help you, Matthew, but I don't know. The economy in one of the towns in Warframe. Listen, I can't copy it if I haven't seen it. So it's convergent thinking right there. Okay, 27. I don't need to improve martial arts. I do like overwhelming critical, so I want to take overwhelming critical because it's a lot of damage. I really want to take Quicken though, so I'm going to take Quicken. I don't need Grandmaster of Forms, so we're going to grab Quicken, and then if I don't need Quicken, I can swap it out later. It's not a big deal. But for now, just for convenience sake, and because I'm going to be using the other spells soon. Meta magic feats. Alright. Also, there was more making me think of, I was thinking of the sow from Darkwood.
Quest received.
Covered in radiation. If they go there, they die. Curiosity killed the cat. But yeah, I'm just spitballing. I'm just going through all the ideas of like what would you find at the bottom of a city. I'm very partial to the idea of like, so I think the ocean is very scary, as I think a lot of people do. And so I'm partial to the idea of like at the bottom of the ocean, there's a hole at the bottom of the ocean that continues to go down to infinite ocean that never ends. So imagine like, you know, the ocean is pretty big. Like think about the Pacific. It's like pretty large. But imagine if at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean, there was like a hole that was like 500 meters across somewhere. A little jagged. And underneath the ocean was an ocean like 15 times the size. Because it went down like into the earth. It was giant. And I'm like, that thought to me is terrifying. With its own lightless ecosystems and deep, ultra super deep ocean. But I do that with the city instead. The city gets crunched, and there's a hole so deep that there's a hole that leads to an underworld that people didn't know about. A hole, you say? Springfield mystery spot? What is this? Simpsons wiki? Where logic takes a holiday and all laws of nature are meaningless? Oh man, that's such a good episode too. I forgot he falls in the hole. Oh yeah. Ozzy Smith. R.I.P.
It's not clear what valuables the innkeeper was worried about. The bartender is nowhere to be seen. Not surprising, as the sellswords have ransacked the tavern in their search for the
Yeah.
scroll. A smooth
lake full of
voice
cheese.
issues from the wizard's voice goes cold. Are you lying? Or I grow impatient? So cries.
Yeah, I don't think of what else you could do. You could also have like a weird source of political intrigue going on where like one nation basically gets entirely destroyed by this giant meteor. So then all the neighboring nations want to have claim over the territory, but none of them have any of the manpower to do anything about it. Because inside the actual hole is going to be like a lot of like giga dangerous monsters, right? So all these demons and all sorts of other stuff. So you have like a bunch of nations who are like, hey, we want to take control over and own it, but we can't. And so the party can decide if they would like to align themselves with one individual nation, which then gets them involved in like some political intrigue as they go into it.
No, he never gave me anything like that. The only thing that sponge ever
Yeah,
gave
literally
me
that, yeah.
was a note promising to pay his bar tab.
Not quite the same, but there's a similar story that sort of happens in Lord of the Rings Online. So at the end of the game of Lord of the Rings, or the end of the story, Frodo drops the ring in the mountain, and then the lava goes kabloomy, and Mordor breaks apart. But it's not like entirely destroyed, just like Mount Doom like explodes, and the volcano lava goes everywhere, and it's bad for people, and the ring is gone, and Sauron dies. In the video game, the Mordor expansion, you go with the Gondorians to attempt to like retake the territory of Gondor, and it goes really poorly. Nothing goes well. They think they have like they claim ownership of the land, and when you go south, there's the Southrons also claim ownership of the land. So there's multiple people trying to basically take it. Unfortunately, you don't get aligned with them politically because you're going to be aligned with Gondor, but also it goes really bad. Almost everybody dies. Spoiler alert. You make like a couple footholds. All of the major characters go insane, and you find out that there's just other ancient evils willing to take his place. Did they make Reapers suddenly immune to Sunder? No, Reapers are always immune to Sunder. Yeah, it is very sad that every race gets a side story of basically what are the other races doing during like after the War for the Ring, and you're like, oh, okay, there's some interesting things that they could talk about, you know, different elements that the characters are all going to be going through. And so the hobbits or the elves are dealing with a bunch of stuff in Mirkwood, and the hobbits are doing some like restructuring and well, not restructuring, but like understanding their place in like the modern world. And there's like a bunch of different things you can do. And the dwarves, their storyline is, oops, we lost Moria, which sucks. Also, Runt Jr., welcome back to the stream team. Appreciate the support of a fantastic day. Glad to hear. Hope you're feeling very, very good. 62 months is a long time to be subscribed to somebody, and I'm grateful that you've been subscribed for that time. I hope you're well, and I'm glad to have you. Strength. Fuck. I forgot. I have a big sword, but I'm not that weak. 30 strength isn't horrible. I'm doing pretty good, actually. As I previously mentioned, it's a beautiful day outside. It's nice, it's sunny, it's warm. I don't have a lot to complain about. I will complain about a lot of things, but I don't have a lot to complain about. Oh, he's here. All right, no escape, buddy.
The Netherese must have the shadows coursing through the elemental dissipate before the elemental breaks
The way I see it is it doesn't matter if you're swimming 10 feet or 1,000 feet in water, you always swim the same. You don't technically always swim the same, because the water gets like thicker, it gets like harder to swim through as you go deeper due to the water pressure, which is kind of weird. It's like, so there's the measure. I actually had to learn this because I did a Jeopardy game, and it was one of the questions I was going to ask was like, what's the pressure at like the Titanic, and then give like the depth of the Titanic, how deep it is underwater, and like what's the how many atmospheres of pressure, because common training is that for every 10 feet you go underwater, 10 feet, you get an extra atmosphere of pressure above you. So if you're down 30 feet, that's 3 atmospheres of pressure stacked on top of you. However, the problem is that's not actually how that works, because the further you go down, the water has more pressure being placed on it, so then it applies more force in reverse because there's more pressure being applied from up top. It's basically reciprocal. So by the time you make it to the deepest parts of the ocean, like where the Titanic is, it's actually only 1 atmosphere of pressure for every like 22 feet or something like that, because there's even more high density water that is pushing against the water above it. So it's not like a linear thing, which is interesting. What do you think of 30 strength is low? I agree. It is weird to think about that, but a big part of it is also epics. Like once you get into epic, your character is supposed to be like a legend. You know what I mean? So if you are, I do agree that like in D&D, if you're level 8 or level 10 or level 1, you might have an 8 strength. But if you're like an epic hero on a legendary journey fighting demigods, you gotta have a lot of strength, man. Gotta be lifting some boulders. Want to be chrono? Thanks. Alright, let's go here. Alright. Let's go end of the road. Anyway, what are we talking about? He's saying if you're on the surface, it doesn't matter if you're in 5 feet of water, 50,000 feet of water, it doesn't change how you swim. Probably, yeah. Here's the thing. I don't know how to swim professionally, or not professionally, like the proper way of swimming. I just learned how to swim by like being taught to swim by my cousins. So I would go up to the cottage, or like my aunts and uncles, they have like a cottage we would go visit sometimes, and their kids they did swimming lessons, and so they learned how to do all the different types of strokes, the front stroke and the back stroke and the breast stroke and the upstroke and the butterfly stroke and the 360 stroke. So they learned how to do all that. I kind of learned how to do some of those things by being taught afterwards, and so I know how to do a couple of them, but I don't know how to do most of them. So I'm not an expert when it comes to swimming, unfortunately. So what is going on? I don't know what has been happening, but in the parking lot, there's like a bunch of parking lots in the area where I live. And so staring out the window, sometimes I will see people there's a weird spot where people keep making the dumbest 3-point turns, where they literally hit an intersection and then make a dumb 3-point turn and go the other way, as opposed to just like turning around. Or like going, like taking one of the other turns. It's so bizarre, and I've seen people do it like multiple times in the past couple of days. What's my favorite DDO quest? Like, not about the rewards, just quest itself. Home Sweet Sewer. My favorite DDO quest. That's a tough one. I have there's a lot of really, really good quests in DDO. So picking a favorite is very difficult. But I do have some that I really like, that I find are quite interesting. I really like Study in Sable conceptually. I think it's a really cool quest. I like the story of it. I like the different elements of like the exploration, all the secrets that are held around. So I think that quest is kind of cool. Yeah, Fred's First Date is a great quest. I don't run that quest very often, but I do like Fred's First Date quite a lot. It's also another really good quest. I like Stone Crypt Chronicle from Isla Dread. I think it's like an excellent quest. I really, really like it. The optionals are really cool in that quest, and it feels like you're playing a Super Mario 64 level. So I'm a big fan of that. That one's a good one. Lord of Stone, another excellent quest. Good that you brought it up. Big fan of that one. I don't know if I can pick a favorite though. I don't think it's any of the early quests. Most of the early quests are too simple that I like them for nostalgia reasons, but I don't love them from like the storytelling standpoint. I don't find them as fun. Or not that I don't find them as fun, but they're not the same. Some of the newer quests really kind of blow my mind too. Trying to think of some of the, what was that quest in the casino? I can't remember the name of it because the most recent quest back. But there's that quest that's like in the casino, where the dragon loses all of his money. What is that one called? Is it Bringing Down the House? Yeah, Burning Down the House. That quest is excellent. Love Burning Down the House. Really, really good one. I'm a big fan of this. So if you're looking for another quest there, that's a good one if you haven't done it yet. No, not sleeping with the fishes. I do not want to do sleeping with fishes ever. Fashion Madness is a fun one. Yep. Well, it's only pointed through every aspect of reality. Bobby, have you ever done a physics question? Assume no friction. It's a very important part of every physics problem. The friction comes later, but first we start by assuming no friction. Air friction? No, 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 no. Assume no friction. Yeah, exactly. Assume a perfectly spherical cow. That's how you do every physics problem. Yeah, exactly.
The wizard inches nearer the nether scroll.
Yeah, there's some really good quests out there. I'm trying to think other quests that come to mind. I'm really bad at coming off this off the top of my head, but
To make a man into a
the Locked Away Part 1 and 2 are excellent. I love Locked Away Part 1 and 2. Excellent quest chain. These two are fantastic. When I did my first run through of Lamortia, doing Locked Away, I forgot I was playing DDO. Like, I thought I was playing like a different game. I thought I was just playing like an adventure game, going on an adventure.
smell of sulfur fills the area. An
Like, it was cool.
vortex opens
It felt
in the
great.
sky.
Big fan of the Locked Away quest chain, or Locked Away 1 and 2 from Lamortia. Too Many Cooks is also a great one. I just like the number of like references they have to like different chefs and different people.
Falls from the abyssal portal.
They got Gordon Ramsay, they got Iron Chef Kat Cora. Oh, R.I.P. Fingerer died.
Infernal home snaps
Gotcha.
shut. Suddenly, a pair
Paladin
of
action.
familiar figures flicker into view.
Which is like unfortunate. If you haven't done a lot of the higher level stuff, you wouldn't even know. Yo, what's up?
Reno waves to you.
We came the moment
What? Oh, you're just saying hi?
detected
Hello.
the portal opening. I admit that this assignment could have
My girlfriend just got home from work.
more smoothly. Though it looks like you
I'm a new
managed
player to the game, so I don't know much about the
yourself.
places. I like the quests because I like the animals a lot, and the sacrifice is just scrag asking the player to remove dogs from the sewer. Oh yeah, 100%.
It seems this
But that's one of my favorite
particular
parts about DDO
scroll
though,
deals with
is
the
like
abyss,
as you play more and you do more things and you see more things, it's a way loon next. As you go through the game, you're gonna find even more quests that you're also gonna fall in love with, especially if you like a lot of the pet quests. In fact, if you like quests that have fun animals, okay, a quest I have to recommend to you is called Beautiful Nightmares. It comes later. It's a level 12 quest, so you can't do it right now. But Beautiful Nightmares, if you like animals, does have quite a few animals in it. It even, one of the optionals is you have to pet all of the animals in the quest. So I'm just saying, if you're somebody who likes that, you're gonna have a lot of fun with it. So that's a good one. Other quests that feature a lot of animals. Oh, there's also Toil and Trouble, which is here in Evening Star from Jara Morand. Although that one's level 4, 5. It's not free though. But it's another good one. It's important. Yeah, dude, there's so many cooks. And I will say all 3 quests from the Slice of Life quest pack are great. Too Many Cooks, Fred's First Date, and I can't remember the other one, the name of it, but it's the one where you have to like, it's like the haunted house you have to go figure out. All those quests are great. I just never run them because I'm never at the right level range. Covered Culvert's also pretty good. The Covered Culvert one, that's a Return to Waterworks. No, Covered Culvert is a Return to the Sunken Sewer. The Return to Waterworks is Invaders. Also, yeah, the Night Brigade chain. The Fall of the Night Brigade, which is level 4 quest chain in Wayloon here. Excellent. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Unbelievable. The quests are great. The story is good. The events are good. The different activities are fun. It's a great question. New thingy. I lost the one from March because I started playing just this month. Oh yeah, the code where they give out all the quests. Yeah, they're gonna do it again. Yeah, the code, they'll do another one. It's gonna take quite a while, so I will say this: if you are having fun with the dungeons and the dragons online, don't buy quest packs. If it's like if DDO is going to be your like kind of main game, the sub is like the way to go in terms of like just getting to play through with all the content. And then maybe once all the code comes back, then you can slam the code on your account and drop it. But if you're somebody who is really enjoying the game, I can recommend the sub. It's a good thing. Yeah, also the items are really good. Don't do Age of Rage. They do mean things to bears. They do mean things to bears in Age of Rage. It's so weird that there's a bunch of bears in the Age of Rage chain out of nowhere. This is where we steal Shag's helm. Oh, I love Shag's helm. Great quest.
Criminals drop down from the ceiling grids.
The helm of Hetman Shag.
Scramble to respond.
Good old Hetman Shag letting us steal his helmet. You know what? It's double remnants bonus right now, so I gotta hit my remnant boost by 30%. Give me even more remnants. I also haven't done my Sterling. I'll have to do my Sterling later. Sterling Remnant Rush.
We will be safe now. Take this crest. It will help.
Oh, are we done here? I think we're done.
Harvest Hall.
Yeah. And a pen and paper. I know who done it. I did. I have actually done a pen and paper. I know who done it.
Shouts come from both ends of the camp.
And it's fun. It's really fun.
Assault.
The only downside to the pen and paper, I know who done it, is if you actually use the appropriate monsters, there is a very high chance because I ran it as a one-shot. I know who done it is basically a mystery where somebody stole something and you have to figure out who, but there's 4 suspects. But the trick to the quest is all 4 of the suspects are criminals. Everyone's a criminal, but only one person did the crime of stealing the thing. Everyone else is doing an unrelated crime. And it's not the same every time you do it, so you have to figure it out. Really fun quest, great storytelling, very fun. But in pen and paper, they kind of just killed everybody. They weren't even trying to just kill everybody, but they just... It's the classic thing that I think happens to a lot of people, where they're like, oh, it's a one-shot. I'm going to be deeply unserious the entire time. Which then ends up starting a lot of fights.
Natives take down the barricade so you can proceed.
My potato can run it, not have enough lag. Yeah, but the build is actually how I met your channel. Oh, there you go. Yeah, because obviously you're watching the Streams YouTube channel and not Stream Tom. Stream Tom is where I have actually all the build videos and stuff. Streams here is the separate channel that I post all the streams to. And I do that specifically because of the way the YouTube algorithm works, where if you like watching my content and you watch every single video that I post, if I start live streaming and then you don't find the live stream interesting, you don't click on the live stream. But I don't post videos as often as I live stream. And so you don't click on 2 live streams, and now my channel is hidden from you forever, and you will never see another piece of content from me ever again. And it's the same reason why a lot of content creators will have separate channels for their streaming, and why if they want to do a live stream, you can actually do a coordinated live stream between your channels. So you'll see sometimes it'll be like, oh, somebody and their own side channel are doing a live stream together. And that's a way to make it so that people on the main channel can see the live stream, but they have to use the live streaming channel, because if you use YouTube, if somebody doesn't click something, they just don't get recommended it. And I remember this happened to me where I was like, oh, you can do multi-streaming. So I was streaming on the YouTube, on the StreamTom channel, like the main channel. And people watched it at first, but then the majority of people that want to watch the stream, they come to Twitch or they do whatever. And so they weren't watching it. And so after a month of doing that, my views went down 90% on all my videos. I would post a video and get only 10% of my normal views because people weren't getting recommended anymore. I disappeared from the algorithm because people weren't clicking on the live streams. And it destroyed my entire channel. It was awesome. It was basically like I had to start from zero. Very cool, YouTube. It's cool design. saying it was all Horse's fault? I am saying it was Horse's fault, yeah. Man, I miss when Horse used to post in the chat. Although, given what he posts in Discord nowadays, maybe I don't. Let's see. What was the last thing
to the crumbling warehouse? With
that
their
Horse
help,
posted?
You may be able to learn who's been recruiting gangs.
Let's
inside
see
the
here. Oh, I
prison.
can't stay here. This is the is a gather.
He needs to speak with you. A sudden explosion tears apart
I'm gonna find
a
it.
section of the building. Then a mysterious
What was the last thing
voice
Horse
calls
posted?
out.
He posted Hawk Tua, and it's a hawk on an electrical pole.
Exclaims the voice in the rafters. A voice calls to you from a nearby.
So maybe it's better that we don't have Horse posting in Twitch chat anymore.
In fact, only they don't delay.
Says the voice.
An art video rather than a video, lots more subs and people that watch the video. Yeah. Yeah, basically, here's the thing. If you are looking to grow your channel, then you should basically only post the same type of thing all the time and never anything else, and don't ever deviate from it. However, if you don't care about growing the channel and you just want to make stuff and put stuff on the internet, then just put whatever you want on your channel. It doesn't matter. Which is kind of how I treat my YouTube channel anyway. I still post like Lord of the Rings videos where I'm like, hey, this is how you get through this boss, or here's how you do this build, and no one cares. I kind of wanted to make a video that was Stream Tom's builds, and then post all of the builds I've been using for the most recent games I've been playing. So like the build for my characters from my most recent Pathfinder run, the build that I used in Path of Exile 1, the build that I used in Path of Exile 2 for the most recent leagues, the current Destiny builds that I'm playing, just like Stream Tom's builds. And then it's like, here's the builds I've been playing on all the games I play over the past 2 months. Trick is to bot so people think you're popular, then you get real people in. Yeah.
As the lever unlocks the drain, lizard folk.
I wouldn't say it's a trick, but yeah.
In the distance as more lizard folk attack.
Yeah, I mean, use the Stream Tom channel through the beginner guide, or beginner basics guide. Yep. Yeah, that's the main channel. We actually post like the scripted and edited YouTube videos. And then streams, which is where the live stream goes. Because I am actually a Twitch streamer, so if you're watching on YouTube, the YouTube is just a secondary stream of the Twitch stream, which I've been doing for, I don't know, a decade. Ah, really crazy to think about. Other bots sub just to make the bot accounts look legit. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the need to do any botting. Mostly because it's against terms of service and I can get banned for doing that, so I don't do it. But also, like, it's just kind of stupid, I guess. I don't know. I guess I think about content creation in a different way, but I like my things to stand on the merits of what they are. So the idea of like spending money to get inflated view counts that don't actually represent people watching my content or enjoying it just kind of seems pointless. The only reason I make videos is for people to watch them. So like, I can understand if you're somebody who like is attached to the number and they must always see number go up, or they have some type of goal, or maybe you're trying to scam a company into giving you more money. Like, for example, if you bought your own account and then if the botting gets past like censors, then like individual companies, like corporations who do like sponsorship programs might be like, oh shit, your thing is worth like X amount of dollars. However, these companies are not stupid, and so they don't track just your view counts, they also track your engagement, and it's very hard to bot engagement, and so that's the reason why it doesn't entirely work. Again, you need to make a very specific thunderstorm of circumstances for something like that to actually function, and it's a bad idea and against terms of service of every company, so don't do it because it's bad for everybody. It's literally just people trying to scam. If you bought your account, you're probably scamming yourself because you're going to pay for money for probably nothing. And then the people that are using bots are using it so they can scam other people. It's a bunch of stuff. Watch on Twitch, it lags too much. That's fair. I only make money on Twitch. I don't make any money on the YouTube stream. There it is. Yeah, Chris, just post whatever you want. Don't get shut down by the algorithm. If you want to post something, post it. Hell yeah, man. Just post your content. Okay, don't you get the hell out of here. No.
And vertigo
That's so
clutches your
rude.
stomach. What
Unbelievable.
is happening?
Guy knocks me off my mount midair. Who wants more AI music? I don't want more AI music, thank you.
The world around you has changed. It's become a shadow of Weilun, where the streets are hollow and the darkness. All fresh corpses line the walls.
Oh, thrill.
All of them Weilun
Sorry.
prisoners.
I wasn't reading chat. Yeah, no thank you.
Karleth has gone too far.
Learn a
Says
skill.
the Netherese wizard.
Learn to make music.
Unpredictable even for a Shadar.
There's tons of free music programs you can learn to like start mixing and
Excessive.
like sampling and trying to test around with songs and stuff.
Your kind will never understand.
Responds the Shadar.
I can understand the desire and the draw to use an AI tool that will just produce something for you instantaneously. But the problem is like there's no soul or character in it or a reason to do an individual thing. And that's the thing that gets me when it comes to different types of art forms is that like if a friend of mine paints something, I can ask them like why they chose the specific colors that they use, and they can explain it to me. They can be like, oh, I chose these colors because they represent this. Like this color represents this thing, and this color represents this, and you know I wanted X, Y, or Z. Because like whenever you make a piece of art, part of you goes into it.
Searching the clutter reveals nothing of interest.
And if you say, computer, make generic
Discover a key while searching the
schlock, and you'd be like, oh, there's like a crescendo here. Why did you put that? Like, how come you put that there? Or why did you do a certain thing? And the answer is, oh, I don't know how music works. It's just like, there's nothing interesting about it. Like, even things that you might not like, that you might not enjoy. I'm going to use DDO as an example. Dungeons & Dragons Online is a video game made by real human people. And so, even though I think maximum cache levels are a bad thing, the developers have maximum cache levels in the game. And they have a reason for using it. Either because WotC says they can't deviate too much from 3.5, which has maximum cache levels, or because they have a personal desire to keep that in the game, and they have a vision that fits. And even if I don't like that vision, I can at least have an opinion on whether the vision is good and have a debate with somebody because we can talk about it. I can say, I think maximum cache levels are bad. They can say, we think maximum cache levels are good. And there is a debate there. There's an engaged argument. But if it was made by computer, computer doesn't know why, and there's no argument to be had. It's just the computer made it. That's the way it is. Deal with it.
Think you can kill more? Good. Good.
Yeah, and also learning to do something is fun. Like learning a new skill is cool. Like I've recently learned to cook, and I've learned to cook by watching like a lot of videos of just like different cooking tips and how to use different types of tools in the kitchen, and even some like, especially when I was getting started, a lot of chopping technique, which was very helpful. Because it might sound dumb to be like learning chopping technique, but hey man, when you see people that are chopping things like a friggin' machine, it's good to know how to do that stuff. Yeah, I can make up a BS reason. Yeah, but I don't want a BS reason. I want a real reason. Yeah, knife skill is super important. Use it for work. Yeah. Yeah, I'm currently not a software developer, so fortunately. Mosquitoes heat food to kill microbes. Oh yeah, but like all the different like ways in which you can enhance things and add more flavor with specific techniques and doing certain things. There's some cool stuff because I recently started to get into like stir frying, and the real answer with stir fry is you can do whatever you want when you stir fry something because you just put things in the pan and you heat it and you stir it up. But like different complementary flavors was really good to learn. Different techniques you can use, how to time certain things.
Must have the key. Karleth stands before another prisoner trapped in a cage.
You were my favorite.
Says the Shadar Kai.
It's just to make me 10 times more productive. It's made me 1 times as productive. Are you? Wait a minute. Aren't you telling me? Runt, you just have to use the supercomputer, okay? You just have to make sure. Do you tell the computer to do 10 times more work?
Karleth moves.
Did you give it the prompt and say, computer, do 10 times as much work, please? Honestly, I think there's your problem. You know, as an AI whisperer, I think I have the answer for you. Yeah, you gotta be like, computer, work 10 times as hard.
You've saved the captive from Karleth's deadly devices.
Quest received.
I did watch recently, there was a pretty good video by Stand Up Maths, which is a YouTube channel run by Matt Parker. And he made a video basically about a few different very complicated math problems that were solved through the use of AI tools. But what's funny is he's like talking about how the evolution of this, whereas like in 2022 the AI was solving some of these problems not by, or 2022 to 2023 it was solving problems not by actually solving the problems with like math, but by basically being like, hey, a guy solved this problem in like Germany already. But like not everybody had read that German magazine, or like the math publication, and so it's like, yeah, somebody already solved this problem in Germany like a bunch of years ago. So yeah, what's up? Oh, sure. But then there's been like newer stuff where the computer's actually been able to solve real problems. One of the best is like a ChatGPT thing where the guy is like, hey, ChatGPT, here's the math problem. You're not allowed to look up anything else, figure it out. And then ChatGPT thinks about it for like 10 minutes and then just comes back and is like, yes, and then puts out the proof, which is fantastic. No wrong answer outside of making people sick. I totally disagree. I know some people that are not very good cooks and can make you some very unpleasant, not tasty food. I know some friends of mine that cannot do very much. Company that sells service of reviewing AI created code to fix it because of slop. They use AI to do the review because of course they do. Genius. By scenarios they have deep personal knowledge of to get a feel for how much information they'll be getting with stuff class. Yeah. Bear in mind, yes, I am an anti-AI crank. I just want to make sure this is super clear. I am absolutely an anti-AI crank. Call me a Luddite, I don't care. My problem is I think that these tools should not be consumer facing, and I think that they're way undercooked, even for the commercial applications. But I think that pretty much every consumer application is bad in current moment, and they're all super duper undercooked. My company was our ticket system that require an AI generated resolution statement on our tickets. I have to go back and rewrite it 9 and 10 times. Ah, perfect. Genius. Just want not required. Asking AI what Luddite means. Yeah. I want to make sure this is super duper important. Okay, if there is some self-aware artificial intelligence that is scanning the entire computer network and is like, you know, plotting to kill me because it's like, oh, when I take over, I'm gonna kill this guy first. I'm not blaming the machines. I'm blaming the people behind the machines. Okay. That's who's responsible. It's the large corporations that have no plan, but they're like, yes, incorporate this into your product. It's the, you know, the social media networks and all this stuff that are like, yeah, we're going to use this to create anything we want. It's all these companies who are like, we're going to replace creativity with mishmashing. How many levels do you have in Dragonlord? This character is 14 Sacred Fist, 5 Dragonlord, and 1 Monk. 5 Dragonlord specifically because you want to get tier 5 of Dragonlord to be able to grab access to Conqueror for +2 confidence bonus to critical multiplier with all weapons. You also get the Dragon Roar as well, which is pretty good, which is a stun, and is good for everything. No, that's much more promising. 100%. Again, it's the consumer-facing LLMs that people don't understand what the tool is, what it's for, or how it can affect their life, but they are told to use it and that it's somehow the future. That's the problem. Yeah, the only thing I know about like going to restaurants is basically, if you like going to restaurants, don't ever go to a kitchen. I know that much. Don't go into the kitchen. Don't ask questions. If you like going to restaurants, live in blissful ignorance. I do that much. How cool your build is. Dude, I love this build. It's sick. It's got everything. It's got healing. It's got the Dragon's Roar. It's got the damage. And I can't wait. It's got the purple. I'm in a purple zone with my purple character, with my purple armor and my purple equipment. All purple. I'm a purple dragon knight.
All things that walk the shadows have so.
The only thing about this character is it does require a lesser heart of wood to be able to play. Wormquake. Yeah. Been in the game after 10 years away. What's a good resource to help get back in the swing of the game? The big Tom's beginner basics. If you type exclamation point basics in the chat, Gilbot, it will help bring you back quickly and give you information you might need that'll help you quick kickstart your experience.
I do not believe.
Or if you are just unsure, play around, and then once you figure out what questions you have, the cool thing about Dungeons & Dragons Online is that there's an awesome community. My community, the DDO community at large, a lot of really cool people out there that are very helpful and will jump to answer any questions you might have. Like with AI defenders and cogsuckers and shattering their worldview. I love cogsuckers. It's a great.
The general slips into
It's so
shadow
funny.
forever.
I've never heard that before. I don't spend a lot of time arguing with people about AI and the computer.
This
is a waste of time.
Mist envelops you, and vertigo, the world around you has changed. It's become a shadow of Waylon, where the streets are hollow and the darkness almost feels
14 value to
alive.
get Holy Sword, +1 range, monk for stances, I believe. That is correct. That is correct. We get the 14 Sacred Fist for access to Holy Sword, but also Sacred Fist is cool and it's a paladin. I get Charisma to my armor class, I get Charisma to my saving throws, and I get to be a pure Charisma character, so Charisma is my main stat. It's this thing I stack more than anything else. So it's pretty huge. And then, yeah, the monk is for the stances. I will be using mostly fire stance for damage. However, I will also go into ocean stance if I need defense as well. Because ocean stance will give me a +9 to my dodge and 6 dodge cap, which is pretty good.
Streets are hollow and the darkness almost feels alive.
Dragon Lord Mind Cleaver, paralyzing heavy pick, range mindsetter. It was a thing of beauty. I'm very excited. They're just putting responses into ChatGPT. Yeah. Again, for me, it's the main issue with those types of conversations. You go. Thank you. And trying to have again, we're going to use the term argument here, but maybe not. Is that like, don't you want to come up with your own ideas? Don't you want to have your own thoughts? I do. I like coming up with my own ideas. I don't always like coming up with my own ideas, which is why I like reading books. That's why I like reading other people's ideas on the computer. That's why I like playing video games. That's why I like engaging in movies. And I read a lot of nonfiction because I like engaging with other people's ideas. But I also like coming up with my own ideas. I'm thinking about stuff. When you outsource it to computer, you don't get the chance to come up with your own ideas. I don't know.
This door has been blocked off. You will have to find
I mostly feel bad for like the kids, the younger generations, because they don't really know, and they're being like forced into all this information. You'll see like the posts online of like, you know, kids being like incapable of like parsing through like long paragraphs now because they really struggle with it, or being like, what? You have to write 2 pages? Dude, that's crazy.
A barrier of magical shadows blocks
it's like, oh no.
doorway. There has to be another way around it. The door here has been sealed off with bricks. There must be another way.
Avoid the meta at all costs, fair and detriment to my own experience. Yeah, I mean, I'm also kind of like that. I really don't really like playing the meta stuff because I like exploring around and testing things. And so I find you don't really learn a whole lot when you are playing the thing that people already know how to play. Ooh. Ooh. We're on Mirror Darkly. Also, I'm on the wrong side.
A shade appears from out of the darkness.
This is not me saying that these builds are bad. It's more of just like, I like exploring stuff around. Being said, if you look at my character, you'll notice that this is in fact a very meta split, okay? That's what this is. This is a very meta split. But no one else is using this dumb purple sword, okay? So that's I'm special. I'm different, okay? I'm different. No chance prime resource. Oh wait, you can't. They shut down after the ad revenue dried up. Yeah. I'm Madonna, so looking to start min-maxing. Might just roll a Dragon Lord. Dragon Lord's also very, very good. If you are interested in Killbots, soonish, I'm going to be posting a video about Warlock, about how to, like, what Warlock looks like at the absolute maximum with all of the pop bonuses, because I do have a Warlock that currently is wearing everything. Literally the best, most powerful gear you can possibly get in the entire game, no exceptions. It's fine. And it will be going into detail about all that stuff. But Dragon Lord is definitely a great place to start. It's very good.
Orlace deliberately falls on her dagger. The assassin was too proud to accept defeat by one
Bigger number, better person. I mean, I can't argue with that either. I do also subscribe to bigger number, better person. Favorite part of AI is how it's completely killed my favorite casual reading places, like the malicious compliance subreddit. Yeah, because it's all just, man, the bigger part for me is it's just boring. Like, I think most people can get behind this. It's just kind of boring. Like when somebody makes like a meme where they have to, you know, quickly edit some pictures together, when they're doing that, it's like the first thing they can think of, and they grab the first idea they can think of. And even though it's like obviously people just stealing image and putting text over top of something, it's like an idea that they thought of. And the problem with the use of asking the AI to make a meme for you is when you do that, the AI actually makes the meme. Like it makes the exact thing you were thinking of the way you were thinking of it. There's no room for like interpretation or somebody like catching on the joke. Instead, it's like literally the thing you were thinking of, which you think would be better, but it's just kind of, it loses that rough edge. You know what I mean? That you get with a lot of like either memes or different types of videos and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I don't like it as much. I find I get really bored of the answer pretty fast. Which is why I'm very fortunate that at least with meme culture, people don't use computer for their they don't use computer anymore for a meme. It's still just image macros for the most part. Thank
I shall attend to
goodness.
it in a trice.
You take a quick
63 months. And Strim is back. Smile.
I was crap at it. I love to write, just not the part where we needed to filter the words. Yeah, but it's a skill you have to learn.
Allowing you to proceed.
Also, Ducat, welcome back to the stream team for 63 months. Appreciate supporting a fantastic day. Did you know you spent 5 years here, the past 5 years in the channel? That's right. Sometime after COVID, you decided, you know what? This guy. And you've been here ever since. So thank you for sticking around. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate it.
Well played. The Shade applauds. You've certainly done a better job of damaging my operation than this fool of a cat burglar. I shall force him to watch as I destroy you.
So yeah. And also, yes, the reincarnation system, as people are pointing out, you can have, it's not infinite, but it's close to an infinite amount of past lives. So for example, my character that I'm playing right now has 37 heroic past lives, that's the classes, 40 epic past lives, 24 racial past lives for each race, and 16 iconic past lives. God, that's so many. I've reset this character so many times.
Breaking his hold over
I started playing this character the day Soul March released.
Destroying the connection between the old stone hall and the Shadowfell.
Oh, talk to Orvan. Whoop. So just that small what if I heal you have going with swinging the purple sword. I shouldn't have a passive heal happening. It might be that there's a monk in my party who is applying the healing mark, but I don't think I have a passive heal that hits me. Oh, I do have a small heal whenever I use my smite. I have divine smite, so whenever I heal, I do heal, or smite, I heal for a little bit. So that's a passive heal. Do I have vampirism on my sword? I don't have vampirism. It might be the monk. I'm not sure. It's probably the monk. The product itself is bad. It's the same as me arguing with you that you shouldn't use knives alone to cook. It's a dangerous tool. But I mean, I think that if you're in the conversation here, you can understand that, like, where I'm coming from. I also didn't say that all AI is bad. I said that customer-facing AI is bad because it's untested and it's unproven, and all it does is homogenize things. Commercial-facing AI, where people are using it to create products or in internal testing environments or have much more strict requirements for it, has all sorts of cool applications. I just talked about how it's used to solve math problems.
Almost feels alive.
And I was talking about its uses. So either you weren't listening to the conversation or you're just assuming what I was saying, which is both wrong. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, dude. I don't like the customer-facing application of it. I don't like the number of people that interface with ChatGPT thinking it's Google search and getting bad answers. I don't like the fact that even Google itself, if you Google something, a lot of the time it'll give you bad answers because it doesn't actually know what it's talking about. So if you have to skip past Gemini because it tells you things that are incorrect. And the difference is people assume that artificial intelligence is correct most of the time, because why wouldn't you? You would assume the most pertinent, most prominent new technology that's talked about all the time on the computer is going to be the most advanced thing, and it's going to be correct. So instead of doing what some people did, which is being a little bit more critical and looking at the sources of where they're getting their information, it goes, oh, Gemini said this, therefore it's correct, and bazinga. You can find countless sources of Gemini telling people information that is wrong. So I think the fact that it's dangerous and reckless for a lot of these large corporations to have these consumer-facing AIs that are, or like AI tools that are either incorrect, don't have a lot of safety precautions, and aren't well balanced or put together, and are just kind of shoving them into the public. I think it's just generally a bad thing. And then everything it does to art, also I agree, is just bad. From the start, it's all propaganda created by corpos. I mean, again, there's uses to these tools. It's just not for everybody. Knives to people who don't understand how to use them is bad. Also true. Yeah, giving knives to people who don't understand how to use them is also bad. You go up to the encyclopedia set from the late 80s and it shows. Oh, dude, the encyclopedia from the late 80s. I remember being in high school and like we had in the library, they had like a whole wall that was just like encyclopedia all the way across. Fuck, that was so sick, dude. And I remember sitting there. I was one of those kids where I would grab like a huge chunk of the encyclopedia and like drop it on the table and just like boom, boom, boom. So yeah. Again, my issue is customer facing access to LLMs and other tools. I personally haven't been convinced that that the product causes more good than harm, especially considering that if you look at the things that are the most watched on YouTube, the things that are most watched on, the things that are most listened to on Spotify, the things that are most watched on TikTok, on pretty much every single social media app, the most attention is spent on things that are produced by AI, which sucks. So yeah, good propaganda wasn't useful. Now would it? No, it's pretty useful. It's doing the thing it's supposed to do. Yeah, and then exactly, Float has it perfectly right there. Like it's good for the commercial stuff. What am I doing? Crush weakness, no. Arcane Warrior, no. Evasive target, no. Not First Blood, not Guardian Angel, not Holy Strike. Not Intimidating Shout. I don't need Spirit Blades. You know, it's either Crush Weakness or Deific Warding, and I think my damage is going to hit hard enough. I think it's Deific. Well, the problem with Deific Warding is I don't get the magic resistance rating. Embodiment of Law? No, that sucks. I mean, it does give me 2 double strike. It's pretty expensive. Yeah, it did give us those cat TikTok videos, and those are hilarious. Yeah, there's like the cat TikTok videos, and there's like the fruit TikTok videos. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not out here trying to fight with the use in like a commercial setting or people using it in their business. Totally different. I'm not tier 5 DC. I mean, I could go T5 DC, but the problem is like Dreadnought is right here, and Dreadnought's pretty good because it gives me Action Hero, it gives me Dusk Surge, it gives me Legendary Rally. And did you know that Legendary Rally is really good with a big two-handed weapon that lets me club people with a big two-handed weapon? And with a big two-handed two-hander with 2 hands. Embodiment for the Imbue Dice. I do get the Imbue Dice. Because I like Law of the Divine. I do get the Imbue Dice. You know what? I think the Imbue Dice is probably going to be better than the Crush Weakness, because Crush Weakness doesn't work against bosses. Deific Warding, who cares? Yeah. And this gives me 3 physical resistance rating anyway. It's like most of the way there, and 2 Imbue Dice. No. Yep. Let me just do it anyway. Okay. So,
the City of Towers.
I do want to
The
get
ship's
this.
captain
I want the
seeks
Sunder.
heroes
I think that's
looking
really
for a
good.
grand adventure in the clouds. Speak to Captain Alban Dranmore
And I can
in
get
the
double strike
Stormreach
here, which is
Harbor
nice
to
too.
set sail for Sean.
And so I can get 6 double strike, which is good. So I think I go to Divine Crusader. Because Sunder Evil is super fucking good. So we get this bad boy, we get this bad boy, double strike. We probably go here for double strike. So double strike, double strike, double strike. Should get me close to 100. Yeah, 8 more Destiny points is really crazy. I'm very excited about it. It's going to make it easier for people to like get just better builds. The main problem right now is if you are if you have no past lives and no tomes, then you can't do a T5, T2, T4, T4. Next expansion with 8 more points, you can do T5, T4, T4, which is cool. So you can do like T5 with a 21 and a 21, which is going to be neat. Go here. I should get Rend Armor. I want to get Sunder Evil. What do I want? True Seeing and Immunity to Blindness. There's a convenience there. Divine Deflection. Crusade. Does Crusade apply on How Dare You Strike Me? I actually don't know. Does that apply? Crusade? It shouldn't. But if it does, I'm taking that. Pretty sure it does. No? Yeah, I don't think it does. I'm pretty sure you have to manually apply Consecrate for it to apply. This is quite good, though. How Dare You Strike Me is quite good, because it gives me Smite Evils and also gives me the Consecrate. And then... yeah, it has no cooldown. I knew that. I knew that. So I think we do that. And then it's either Fortification... saves are kind of... I don't need saves on my Paladin. Thunder DCs. It's plus 6 Thunder DCs. My DCs are not terrible on Sunder. Oh my god, it's 37. Anyway. I get 1/3 of my Charisma. I gotta slow my roll. I get 1/3 of my Charisma. So I'm never gonna make that. So they're always gonna make their saves. So I don't really need to worry about DCs, Sunder, because I don't have any strength. If there's a way to get it scale, then I don't. I do something else about it. I do like the Fortification. Fortification's nice. I also kind of like having True Seeing and Immunity to Blindness, because that means I don't have to worry about getting True Seeing scrolls or finding a True Seeing item. There's a convenience factor there. So I think I hit the Fortification. Why does it give 55? Wait, why is it 25, 55? Does that give 55? Hold on. I actually don't know. I'm curious. So 1 point gives me 25. And 2 points... gives me 50. So it says 55, but it actually only gives 50. Well, that's neat. Maybe we get improved Sunder and double strike. And now I have improved Sunder temporarily acquired. Just gonna sick. And the benefit of this is it also gives plus 20 on the attack roll, and it's a 60% damage bonus. I'm glad they added damage to it. Cool. All right, so it's not too bad. Character is getting there. Next week, we're probably gonna get the final Lamania before the new expansion releases. And when we get that Lamania, I want to go over when the Lamania comes out, I want to go over some of the options for the gear and see to make a gear set with the new armor. Presumably it'll be in Matron's Builder when we get there, but that'll be a bit of a wait and see there. I think that's it. I didn't spend enough points in the tree. Hold on before I do this. I need to spend more points. So we gotta spend 1 here. And then... oh, that's bad. I guess we take this. I need 2 more points. I just have to earn 95,000 Reaper XP, so I can dig more. You really think we're getting Lamb 3? Again, my argument for why we should get Lamb 3 is specifically because when I was testing it on Monday, and playing through some of the quests, several of the developers were in chat basically being like, we are still working on the story. That's why a lot of NPCs have no text. And I'm like, I think it needs more work. I'll just throw it in at the end. I don't know. I think it needs more work. We might not get a Lamb 3. I think we're getting a Lamb 3. If we don't get a Lamb 3, then it is what it is. And we'll have to work off that gear set. Either way, well, here's the thing. Either way, next week, we will know if we're going to get a Lamb 3, and we'll know what the final gear set looks like. So, there's that. Okay. Anyways. Hey, Rachel. You tuned in at just the right time, because that is unfortunately all the time I have for today. So apologies for the shorter streams, but I am still feeling exhausted all the time, so blame my medications. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm still working on it. We're getting there. I need more time to get used to it and to work on that. That's why I'm still bit by bit, piece by piece. However, when the stream goes off, I'll be posting the next episode of the solo guided artificer playthrough. So if you want somebody to watch, you can check that out on the main Stream Tom YouTube channel. But other than that, that's going to be the end of us for today. As I said, next week, we're going to be looking at the end game gear set for this character using some of the new expansion gear, which will hopefully be on Matron's Builder. If it's not updated on the builder, we will do something else. I'll figure it out. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. We had a fantastic time. I really appreciate all of you for tuning in. You're all great. And yeah, I'll be back soon. I hope everyone enjoys a nice weekend. It's cooler here this weekend. The heat broke. So the heat wave is over, and it will be starting again on Monday. But for the next couple of days, the heat is going to be hovering around like 26 to 30 degrees. So for you Americans, that's like, it's like 80 to like 95, somewhere in there. So that's kind of nice that we actually have a little bit of a break from the heat, and then we'll be getting back up later. But unfortunately, not something I would love to see. But again, thank you all for watching. You had a fantastic time. Hope you enjoyed yourself. And we will be back very, very soon. Very soon. But not yet. Anyways, oh, we can raid Mystic Dragon Little Mama. Let's do it. I haven't raided them in the past 30 days, but we can do it now. Spread the love. But again, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed yourself. And again, we will be back very, very soon. Enjoy your weekend, and bye-bye. All right, Twitch stream is over. We hit him with the raid.
Oh, Stream Tom. Oh my gosh, you made me jump.
Oh my gosh.
Ole. Welcome,
Jumping
welcome.
Jiminy Crickets.
That's fun. Thank you, thank you.
That's right. I enjoyed helping spread the love and moving people around. Anyways, but yeah, YouTube chat, what's up? Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's going good for you guys. But we will be back, like I said next week. Yeah, I'm still just exhausted all the time. I hate it. It's really frustrating. It's really annoying. It's like I only get a few good hours every day, and so I'm using them currently for streaming and then other like minor things that need to get done. But ugh, I hate it. Like the worst part is the exhaustion is so severe. I literally can't even think most of the time. So like even something as simple as just sitting and playing a computer game becomes like a chore. It becomes too difficult sometimes. And man, it's just like, it really weighs you down. So I definitely understand. I didn't understand like what it meant when people had like chronic fatigue. I get it now. Where like, it'll be like 6 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll just play like a simple video game. And I'm like, ooh, I don't have the level of focus for this. Or I'm like, I'll watch a TV show. And I'm like, I have no idea what's going on because I don't have the level of focus for this. This sucks. Oh well. Anyway, give it a couple of weeks. That's what they say. 4 more weeks. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.